my best to stay here the whole day. But there's a possibility that I may switch you guys over to the video-based program online and have you watch those videos. I'll do my best.
You have our support.
Thank you. I'm not even going to touch these. I'll just give that to you, and you can take one and pass it around.
You have the Ebola. That's what you got.
What's that?
You have the Ebola.
Yeah, not too good. What we're going to do today is we're going to start off with looking at your core business and your products for prospects and your gifts, and create some sort of a plan for how you're going to develop all the things. And I want you to look at your core offering as well and actually reevaluate if whether or not your core offering is as ideal as it should be as well. Hopefully you guys gave that some thought last night. And if you're not pulling in $2,500 per customer per profit, then ask yourself, what would you have to do in order to create something like that as a core offering? Most of you are already there, but for those of you that aren't, you want to think about that. So what I'd like you to do is on that sheet that I just passed out, I want you to kind of, you've got some samples. We talked about like gold, silver, bronze, that kind of stuff. I would like you to fill out what you think your business model looks like. So currently take all of your products and services and place them in there based upon how you see it. How you see it. Do you have gifts? Do you have products for prospects? So if you're doing a blog on a regular basis, that's a gift. If you have low value or a high value but low price, low barrier to entry product or service, it's probably a product for prospect. I want you to just kind of map that out. See how you're doing. Take a few minutes to do that now, because this will pretty much be the compass by which you'll build everything on top of this.
So if my website is currently set up in a way, which I'm pretty sure it was, in which there always has to be an email, then it's not a gift.
Correct.
Okay.
But ask yourself, does that make sense? Or
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
okay, so then you just have to, yeah, I would go ahead and put those in your gift section,
Okay.
but just make sure you go to your web designer and say, we need to take off these restrictions.
Everything last year was built with.
Here's the thing, a lot of web designers really love those trapping the contacts because they're basing that off of antiquated cultural norms. So in the information age, all we want to do is collect a bunch of data. In the collaboration age, all we want to do is contribute. So it's a different model. And most web designers haven't caught on to that, nor will they for quite some time. Which is good for you guys because get in now, then you're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of the wave.
It's so funny you just said that. What just happened?
Macy. Hey. You made yourself a victim, Macy.
Topher, under data capture, is that, so if we don't have a clear, after the gift has been received, that's encouraging a call to action.
Yeah, so ideally what you want to do is after every gift, you want to give them a reason to go on to a product for prospect. So the idea is that they've enjoyed this part, and if
Yeah.
they'd like to take it even further, you'd like to send them some information or
Yeah.
something like that. Yep.
Now, is it typical that you have your products for clients that's very heavy?
Product
Because
for
we're
clients.
really good at developing, like the program is so comprehensive
Mhm.
that that's where my eggs are, unfortunately.
Right.
Because I put so much effort as in the team, from digital, from
Yeah.
introduction to manufacturer reps in your local market to,
I'd have to look a little bit deeper into your business, but do they pay for? They don't have to pay to get in. They can just become a partner, correct?
they've got to be eligible, and then they also have to have a minimum spend.
They have to have a
No,
minimum
yeah.
spend.
So like
I would assume that all of those are still product for client, but I
That's
could
where
be
I'm real
wrong.
heavy.
A product for client?
Yeah, that-
Sorry,
and-
I meant core offering. Sorry, I'm sorry. I meant core offering.
Well, the comprehensive stuff, like for us to repurpose blogs in
Yep.
their local market and almost make it theirs.
Yep.
That's a real relationship that we have. We're not gonna take those marketing efforts.
Is that an upsell or an extra charge for them?
No, that's part of the master dealer program.
Then that's part of the core offering. Those are just services you offer. Now, what you may discover is all of a sudden, so just like some people look at their core offering and go, shit, this really should be a product for prospect, and I need to develop something totally different. What you may discover is that you go, God, I'm so heavy on the core offering, and I'm giving a ton away. I should actually take 5 of these features and make them products for clients and actually have those as an upsell. That's a possibility too. Yeah, but that's still your core offering if they're all included inside that offer. It's still your core. The product for client we don't even really focus a lot on. during the program. That's more for after KPI, but it's really based upon the notion that after you've solved their first problem, what new problems do you create and how can you solve those? So the problem you're solving is, I'm an LED. I want to be in the LED business, but I don't want to be a manufacturer. I don't want to produce them, but I would like to be able to sell LED lighting. And you've created a system for that, which works. And so that solves my problem. But now, what problems do I have as a result of that?
You're gonna have to expand your staff, you're gonna have to.
Right. So then,
service your
yeah. So
customers,
those are
you're
the
gonna have
type.
to-
Those are the types of problems, right?
Yeah.
So now, do you have staffing training programs? Do you have maybe even someday you'll even actually have a recruiting firm that actually helps to hire the people or something like that? So those would be all products for clients.
So, Topher, so like from past dealer congresses, we've recorded the speakers and then we've edited those videos, and we have some videos that are like 1 minute, 30 seconds. So I like have short videos and then expanded videos on topics. So under gifts, would the short videos be good? Just watch the short video and then if you like it,
Yeah.
you can have the 30-minute version of it, which is really
Exactly
good,
right.
covering the whole topic.
Exactly right.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Perfect.
short videos.
Perfect.
Sorry, wait.
No worries. Let's see right here. Do you have an extra sheet of this stuff?
I absolutely do. I just didn't want to throw them at you because you got tissues and
Yep.
probably dicks over
We're gonna
there.
hand that to her. So Claire, what we're doing right now is we're actually just writing out
Okay.
all of the products and services that we currently offer in our businesses. And we're
Okay.
placing them inside the ATM
Okay.
where we think they should be going. What some people are realizing is that what they have as their core really should be a product for prospect. Or some, like even Michelle's realizing what she has as her core offering probably could be split up to also products for clients, not even products for prospects. So we're just kind of taking all of the services that we provide, just kind of locating them in there.
This is hard for me
Yeah.
because we do so much.
You really need probably 3 of those sheets for all 3 silos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It makes it much easier if you put them in silos, yeah.
You help me on the security side and do that.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, you're going to be involved on the gift side.
What
'cause
I'm
you're gonna
doing
be
is I'm looking at
responsible
this
for blogging
and I'm
and
looking
things
at
of that
all
nature,
of
and
my
hopefully more video
content that I
content, right? 'Cause
have.
there's some video
Right.
content.
Let's go through the-
Minimal.
in
Right.
my,
So we're also
just
doing
even my
like
computer stuff
so
that I
what we
have,
do
and I'm
is
just
like
separating what I
premium
have.
piece of content recording.
Because that's just how my business
So
works, so I'm
that
putting
would
them
be
into
what
what he talked about
we're
yesterday,
offering out
gifts
there for
being
free.
no strings
So
attached.
you and I are pretty
Right.
well tied to this thing now
Yeah.
together because you're
Yeah.
responsible for a lot of this in my organization.
So juicy,
And then the fun business, so that's kind of, I have a couple things in each.
Okay, so it's
It's where I'm at
Figure
with that.
So that would be the product for product,
yeah,
right? So
product for
some of
product,
those-
right? Because other than that, we don't have any.
Right, and then we'll divest those.
Right, I got you.
Gift side.
Yeah. Because you know one of the things he said yesterday, almost everything you do is all hard stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, it's other stuff. It's all hard
So
stuff.
you guys do, so, I mean, depending on which one you want to do, right? So you guys do a network analysis.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at the MSP side, that network analysis would be product with prospects, correct?
Yeah.
And the like security side, is there any security analysis that you guys do?
Almost everything we do, but when it's a from scratch type scenario,
Yeah.
you always have to do a survey first.
Yeah.
This is what you have. This is what you need, or you don't have anything. Or
Right.
This is what you need, and this is how it gets done.
Do they pay for it?
It depends on the customer. Sometimes yes, sometimes
Yeah.
no. So that really that could go into.
When developing the entire
That's
Sorry.
actually you go into both.
Yeah.
Topher,
Is his main-
Yeah.
will you do us a favor? Do you mind
Right,
going
yeah,
back
we'll
into
want
this
it
portal
back.
so we can kind of
Yeah,
see you
that
use
makes
it
sense.
once?
Yeah, that's what I'm in right now. It's just
Yeah, I saw that.
Or lose sight of what your client is ultimately trying to get done.
sorry.
The moment
So what would my product for prospects, sorry, I'm just still trying to figure
Sure.
out.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got lost.
I didn't even, that never even crossed my
Yeah.
mind.
So
My gifts are the videos, the how-tos,
Mhm.
the tape measures, we have
Yeah,
levels,
gifts,
we have
products,
coasters.
core business.
I gave it to her.
okay, I was gonna say, just
She
make
sat-
sure.
She sat a long time,
Yeah.
paid
Essentially
attention.
what we do, marketing engagements,
She's a
Um,
good girl.
website design, products for clients.
I just want to make sure she wasn't stealing your food. Yes, those are all your gifts for sure. Yep. Now the question is, after that video is done, what does it ask them to do?
As far as gifts, we already blog at least once per week, videos, this is something I'm
To
sure
trust us.
pretty much any of our.
And that we're
Is there a
creative.
call to action though?
Video for, that's the same thing
No.
for you,
Right.
whatever the
So
subscribe blog
ideally,
post,
what you
like
want these
creating
gifts to do is that after they're
starting a
done,
podcast,
it
that's
gives them a
something
reason to keep going.
I don't know
Because
what
right
that
now
is
you
about.
actually got a stopping
We
point.
already do about one
Well, the coasters do because everybody, like, we just started doing them and everybody loves them.
Yes.
And they're
It's funny,
asking
we
us,
started
well,
with
can I
divesting
use
on-
this?
Yes.
we call
So
it
this
gated
is a
content,
mini
Right.
old ones.
call to action.
And then as we create a new one.
It's not a major call to action.
Yeah,
It's
they
a
shouldn't be
mini-
big ones. Yeah, but ideally, after a free video,
Get yourself out.
you want to say, if you'd like to know more about this, and then there'd be another product which would go into greater
Now,
level of
these
depth.
are all things we could charge for,
Okay.
so like the
And that would be
SEO
something that they have to give you
that's
something for,
literally,
either their name, email,
put your website onto,
phone number,
within our
money,
tool, and then
something like that.
So that's
We
one
do
that's
on that,
free.
if, at the end of the videos, we do say if you want more, or you want that,
Those are a little more
you know,
individual
contact
things,
us
like two
and
people.
stuff.
This
Yeah.
one just does like an on-site.
That's
generation,
good,
so
but it's
we'll
not
get them
taking,
off-site, so
it's not maximizing
no.
what you you're not taking full advantage of that, because any call to action has to be very specific, where if it's just something like you'd like to know more, give us a call, it's probably not going to convert to a lot. Where if you say,
Right.
if you'd like to know more about this particular topic, we've created a we've created a 50-minute video program,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, but it also can be.
and we'd be happy to send that to you. Just give us your email, and we'll send you all of the download links or something like that.
Something.
There's a
So
value
guys,
tied to it, but
can I
there's
get your
no
attention real quick?
engagement.
So one of the things that makes the invitation from the gift into the product for prospect very effective is there has to be a reason to trap the data, right? You have to give people some sort of implied, well, this makes sense, I have to give them my information, right? So it might be something like you have a free video, and at the end of the video it says something to the effect of, I really hope you've enjoyed this information. If you'd like to dig with this a little bit deeper, I've created a 45-minute video. I've created 5 15-minute videos, which will take you through all of the 5 steps I overlaid in the initial video in greater depth. These videos are for you to take. All you have to do is simply provide me your email so I can send you the download links.
That makes sense.
Yep. So I can, right? So I can send you the download links or something like that, which in and of itself, if you examine it, is silly, because you could just as easily have the download links on the website. But when you put it in some sort of phrase that, you know, if you give me your contact detail, then I can send you this, or, and by the way, maybe it's not that, maybe it's, if you'd like to have access to that online learning portal, the membership fees are $15 a year, whatever. So it could be something else that they pay for as well. It's not, don't think of a product for prospect as just getting you their email address for the product. Ideally, you want people paying you for your product for prospects, right? So if you make it valuable enough that they're willing to pay, that's a good thing as well. I was talking about Dan Bradbury's website yesterday. His product for prospects are all 300-400 pounds. By the way, he's in town. He'll be here today. Yeah, I'm a shitty friend and totally forgot that he was coming in town to hang out with me. And he texts me last night and he goes, "I'm here." I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, dude, you can't stay at my place. I'm so sick. So I sent him to a hotel. He's staying at the Aloft. So he'll be in today. But his products are 300-400 pounds.
Those are his product for prospects?
Product for prospects, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Because
What's his core business?
his core business is mastermind programs that I think start at 10,000 pounds.
Got it.
Yeah.
That was the guy whose video you showed us yesterday?
Yeah.
Mhm. You said he was coming in town.
Yeah, I forgot that it was yesterday though. Yeah. So he'll be in here shortly. All right, does that make sense? So I just want to let you know, you may have current gifts right now, by the way. So how do you handle this? So Claire was saying that she's created some videos, right? These are gifts. Until you know this, obviously a lot of your free gifts that you've already created might have stopping points in them, right? So a stopping point is where the video is done and there's no call to action. There's no invitation to continue further. God knows I'm great at that. I do way too many of those. But ideally, you want the very end of that first video or audio or text to invite them into something, which is why we like to reverse engineer these. Because if you do if you isolate your core offering and you get that done, then you can develop your products for prospects. Well, at the end of your product for prospects, you can actually talk very specifically about what's in your core offering. Once you've developed your product for prospect and then you create your gifts, well then at the end of the gift creation, you can talk very specifically about what's inside the product for prospect. Where if you build the gifts first, that's what happens is you build a gift and there's no continuation because you're like, well, I don't know what's next. Do you get the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos lately, and I noticed that one of the things that the most successful ones do is, aside from all the camera work, which drives me crazy and I love it, is that they say, don't forget to, they say it in the very beginning,
Yeah.
which is a very small thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't do it immediately, but now I'm like, well, I like it, and then I forget if I like it, it actually keeps me up to date
Yeah.
with
Let me subscribe.
yeah, well, it's not subscribe. I can subscribe, but if you can like videos and do they stay stored or something? It's easier for me to find them basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's a cue for me, like it's a gift for me.
Yeah.
But they ask for it in the very beginning, in the first 15 seconds of their video.
Yep, a lot of
They
people
ask
do
for
that now. I don't know how, you probably know a lot more about that stuff than
I would
do.
do it today. I don't know, at the beginning, I'd like to see data on it. I don't know. I'd run an A/B test against it. Because it just seems like that you provided no value yet, so why are you asking somebody to like something, you know?
They say, if you find value.
Yeah, if you like this, make sure you
If
give
you
me a
like
thumbs
this,
up.
be sure to, don't forget.
Because at the end, like the last 10 to 15 seconds, that's something you want to really talk. Like, hey, help other people find this. If you find this valuable, please subscribe. Let people point to the subscribe button on
Yeah.
YouTube or stuff like that.
I've been watching some young, more millennial or younger,
Yeah.
Sure.
video bloggers
Bloggers.
do their thing. The vloggers do their
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've got hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's in Canada. She's like 20. What is the deal?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's a formula that I
Yeah, it's a
watch.
Yeah.
weird culture where people just like shit if you like their shit and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
Or like that one kid Logan something that got in trouble in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the YouTuber.
What an
What a
idiot.
rude little.
But the stuff's really bad. I didn't
Yeah.
like it immediately. Like I didn't like it immediately. It wasn't until I watched 3, 4 of her videos that I thought, wait a second, she's really provided me the most valuable
The
information.
key there, though, is I don't want to get too focused on the strategy about whether or not you do it at the beginning or the end.
Right.
But what makes it work, though, is that it's specific.
And it's consistent.
Yeah. So I was telling Claire, like she was saying, her videos say, if you got more questions, give us a call. That's not very specific. Whereas if it said, if you like this video, I've created 4 more videos that go into greater depth, that
Got
will
it.
usually produce a better result than a generic call to action. You do want to do something very specific. Yeah. And ideally, whatever that call to action is, it should be whatever's on that front page so you don't want to have to go someplace else in order to impact that call to action. Does that make sense? So I'm watching a video, it tells me to call. Well, now I have to go off the computer and onto my phone. But if I'm watching a video and it says, now here, just click this link, that's a better call to action.
I
Does that
would
make
agree with
sense?
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have a question.
Yeah.
So the product process, the way I understood that is it's something that we do where it's pretty much create something that's premium that they're willing to give information for, right? That,
Yes.
That can't suck. And then we link that to like gifts, right? Essentially. But as far as like the purchasing, would you say that maybe that purchasing isn't applicable to everybody, or literally a transaction is going to occur, or am I just being, pessimistic about it and not thinking too hard?
All a relationship is exchange of energy, right? In any relationship.
Right.
In a business relationship, that exchange is usually in the form of finances.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how business is kind of determined, right?
Right.
We can exchange contact details and likes and shares all day long, but unless there's a financial transaction involved, it's really not business.
Right.
Yep. So unless you have like an ad-based model or something.
Yeah.
So anytime I can collect money for my product for prospect, I'm all over that.
Yeah.
I'm much rather charge for our product for prospects. So for example, we've got, we've come out with the Profitable CEO series, which is another product for prospect for us. So we don't have to charge for those. We could give those away. But it's like if we can charge and we can break even on them, I'd much rather do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think anytime, and also the other thing is that if you develop your products for prospect based upon the notion that you want to charge for them, you're probably going to make a better product for prospect.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good
Whereas if you know you're not going to charge for it, you might just kind of half-ass it.
Right.
You just go, well, I'm not charging for it anyway, so if it's not that good, who cares, right? So I also think that sometimes forcing yourself to charge for your product for prospects also inherently makes the product for prospects a lot better as well. Make sense?
Yeah. And I guess if you were to charge for it, you could actually, if you had an e-commerce card on your website, you really wanted to give it to people, you had a value of like say like 30 to like 300 per like download, you could just give the coupon code and be like, hey, and then literally they're going to think that value's there because
Yes.
you're actually charging people for it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So for example, we did our first Profitable CEO series event that we did with a partnership with James Ramos at his office, and we had 30 tickets available. Our goal was to sell 10 and give away 20, but they were all $79 tickets or something
Right.
like that. The at the door price was $197, so it's $197. Buy early, it's $79 or something like that. But we were targeting specific people that we wanted to sell. Either he wanted to get into his real estate network, or we wanted to get into our KPI network.
Right.
So as co-promoters, we each had 10 free tickets to give away. We went through our 10 free tickets like that. He didn't give anything away, as is with most promotions and partnerships. One person does all the work, the other person doesn't. There was not one promotion whatsoever. I think he gave a couple tickets away to his employees. We're like, oh, this is not what we wanted to do. We took his free tickets, we gave them away as well. We sold the other 10. We had a guy show up at the day of the event and paid full price for $200 for the ticket.
Wow.
His one $200 ticket paid for all of our food. But only maybe 7 or 8 people paid for their tickets.
Okay.
Everybody else, we gave them comp VIP tickets.
Yeah.
But there was a value there, right?
Right.
And it was a legitimate value because we actually did sell tickets to people, and hell, we even sold one for $200. We didn't expect that would happen,
Yeah.
but he just went on to the Eventbrite thing and he signed up. We're like, cool. He didn't complain. He got value out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you can charge, I say charge.
Not one of those people at the table knew which one got a free one and which one paid for it either. So everyone sitting
Yeah.
at the table was like, wow, well, all these people came to pay to see this guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's just that trick, like, you paid for this?
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
So when it comes to all your previous videos, blogs, programs
What do you
that
do
are
with them?
not here, so should I put that in that kind of free slot?
That's usually what I do. I
Resources?
just kind of default them to the free gifts. Now, I will
I've got
say
some
this.
dated things. I've got a lot of great stuff. I just don't use it anymore.
Yeah. So here's something you can do, by the way. So let's say you have a video that you've created, but there's no compelling call to action on it. It is quite simple and quite easy for you to amend that video and just add on an additional video at the end, right?
Except for if your hair color's different.
What's that? No, it's okay too. It's okay too.
Listen, Tony Robbins,
No.
I have every single one of his, I'm just kidding, every single one of them. And I know that next year he's gonna do another recording to back end on, you can hear his voice change, because
Yeah.
his voice has changed over the years.
Yeah.
So I can hear the voice change, and it's cut all throughout the programs. So all they do is recut and then resend it out.
Yeah, it's
So you
all
have
right.
this like 20-year-old voice and this 50-year-old voice.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah, it's
doesn't
okay.
matter, I don't care.
Yeah,
No
that's the
matter.
thing. If the content is good, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
if you
even
have
if you have
some,
different hair
send
color,
it
it's
in.
cool. In fact, you can even literally you could even just get on like after the video done, and it goes black screen, and then it comes back and it goes, "Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. You know, I made that video 5 years ago, and it's received over 1,000 views or 10,000 views. And in fact, I got so many great comments. I actually decided to create an additional product as a result of that. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you could literally do that, right? And you could just amend those onto those videos and just pull down the old videos and put up the new ones with that. Yeah. I think even YouTube now actually might even have an editing feature inside YouTube that allows you to do that. I'm not sure if it's additional. I know they have editing capabilities.
Yeah, I don't know, because I know that's the big hubbub. I can ask somebody on my team, because I know Vimeo, that was the big thing. Like, you can edit your video, and it won't mess it up, but it'll, if you edited your video on YouTube, you would, like, reset everything, change the URL string and all that.
That's what it is, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Do you
like
recommend
that.
Vimeo or YouTube? Do you have
It depends on what the goal is. So, like, for SEO, I would recommend
YouTube.
YouTube,
Yes.
yeah.
So
For,
then
like,
I
really
go into
high-end
this book.
video, I would always recommend
Vimeo.
Vimeo, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I scan that, it tells me where it goes.
Hmm?
Go ahead. I'm just showing her my little
Oh, the
book.
cool pad?
Yeah, because I did that, and then it just sent me, tells me where I want it to go, and done.
Mm. Nice.
So they have these little markers. I'm learning it.
That's good. That's awesome.
I forget, on the core, you have 3 levels, right? So there's like, I have a $1 million
It
digital
worked.
shop.
Like,
I have
these
$1
are my
million
notes from
teachers
yesterday.
training, And then there's
So instead of like if you ever
consulting.
go to places that you have to do
And
a
that's the
meeting
core.
and talk
Yeah.
to people.
That's the main thing. You ultimately want all your customers to buy that one thing, right?
Right.
Yep.
One of those
three.
things.
Yes.
Yeah, one of those 3 things.
Mhm.
And then there is it opens the door to all of the other
Yes.
potential.
Now, some of you, by the way, your core offering may be the same as your product for prospect, but it's a quantity-driven thing. So, Patty, listen up here. So, Luda, for the most part, what you sell is what you sell, right? You have lamps, right? You're just brokering the product. So, for you, maybe when you look at your core offering is a minimum quantity, and unless somebody's ordering a minimum quantity, they're not even considered a customer. They're considered a prospect, right? So the 1s and 2s and 5 lamps, those are product for prospects. But when somebody orders 500 lamps, now they're a customer. So you get the idea? So this will also, because ultimately what you want to do is you want to have you want to have this, there we go. So what you want to do is you want to have this process dequalify people so that by the time they get to your core offering, they're just your ideal client and they're nobody else. Yep. So
Is a credit check like a product for prospect?
could be, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Credit report, credit check, all those kind of things could definitely be a product for prospect. The idea is that once you've given them this information, some people are going to look at the product or prospect and go, "Oh, that's too much." Great, they're a suspect. They're not even a prospect. Get rid of them. But then if they go, "Yeah, I really do like that. I'm going to go in." Now they're a product for prospect. They've gone from suspect to prospect. And now through the product for prospect, after that's delivered, there's going to be some sort of a sales conversation. And some people are going to move into this, some people aren't. The ones that move out, the ones that move into it are your ideal clients. The ones that don't go drop out and they never become a customer. So the idea is you want them dropping out consistently to where they're only left with your ideal customers at the end. This is why, for example, when we do our product for prospect for the strategy session, in the data capture phase, before we actually sit down and meet with them, we have them fill out a type form, and the type form asks them, are you investing between 20 to 30% of your gross revenues back in your marketing plan? Are you willing to invest $20,000 to $50,000 into your marketing plan? Are you the primary decision maker? Are you willing to invest 6 months of your time into helping you develop? And if they start saying no on those things, they don't even get over to here. Don't even want them. Because I don't have the discipline as a business owner when they're in the sales conversation to say no to them. And I would doubt that you do as well. Right? Being totally honest, when we're faced with a sale, you have the opportunity to make the money, we take it, right? But how many times have you sat there, literally in the middle of the sale, signing the contracts or whatever, going, I'm gonna regret this. I really think I'm gonna regret this, right? And you don't even wanna work with them, right? So, since I don't have the discipline to say no, I don't want them even getting into the funnel. I'd rather have them get out of that, right? So that's why we have those kind of questions inside the type form. A type form is a product for prospect.
You just lost your connection.
It's a weird network here. So, does that make sense? Yeah. All right. Cool. So you've got this laid out here. Hopefully, you've got your core offering. You've kind of been plotting your product for prospect. Where are you guys weak? Are you weak in gifts, or are you weak in product for prospects, or both?
Weak in product for prospect.
Weak in product for prospect.
Both.
Weak in both.
When I look at this here, I mean, maybe it's the way that we do business,
Yeah.
but you just said suspect or prospect,
Yeah.
right? We take both of them
Yep.
right to the sales conversation.
Right.
Right, everything I was just telling you this. Everything's a hard sell. You get a name, you have a hook, whatever it is. You're going right for that conversation. There's not a lot of this gift or product or prospect process before we get to those conversations.
I'd have to look, but you've actually, the one thing that Rod did before you even came on board is he got real clear with who his prospect, of who his customer was.
Yep.
Before he, I don't even know if you know this, so before you were on board, they used to do residential security systems for
Oh yeah,
homes.
I helped
Yeah.
remove that. With
Yeah, and it was just ludicrous. It was
Yeah.
like there's no money in that, right? So I remember there was a pivotal time with Rob when one of his sales reps, Stephen Parker, who's one of our KPI clients, gave Rob a referral. The guy called up Rob, called up your company,
Yeah.
got through to a sales rep. The sales rep took the information down, walked into Rob's office, and goes, here's the lead, I don't want it, you can have it. And Rob looks at it and goes, why? And he goes, I'm not going to waste my time with that. But it was one of your friends, Steven, who referred it, so it's your problem, not mine. And your sales rep was so clear on who his customer was, he wasn't going to screw around with this crappy little sale. And Rob calls me, he goes, what do I do? How do I handle this? Steve sent the referral, but it's not our ideal client. And I said, find somebody who could service them, hand it over to that company, call Steve, say thank you for the referral, but that's not what you work with, and he'll be grateful that you sent him on to somebody else.
And
Right?
on the security side, and you again, he's very well entwined with us now.
Sure,
and the
yep.
other thing. So
Yeah, I knew the ideal customer for the security.
yeah,
side.
but I mean, on the security side, what we did, I mean, just from that piece, we have vans now.
What's that?
We have vans now. We're
Yeah.
rolling a fleet of vans. We have guys that are, that, and again, that's what was part of why. So I created the subcontractor network, so we didn't have to hire all these people. We purchased a small security company, okay, because they didn't want to do commercial. All they wanted was residential. So now, anytime any of our existing resident stuff comes over, we kick it right over to them.
Yeah.
Right. So that whole thing is happening right now, but it doesn't really. You're right. He understands where the prospects are, but we don't do a lot of the back end process on that. We understand who our customer is, but we're not doing any of these things to kind of drive that focus.
I think that'd be powerful if you did.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool if you had a bunch of great info. Look, who's your ideal customer? It's 40,000 square foot.
on the security
multiple-
side. Yeah, 40,000 square feet.
Or multiple offices.
Multiple offices.
25 or more.
Right, and one that wants to integrate their security systems with their IT systems.
Gotcha.
Right, we don't want to just have somebody who says, "Oh, great, I have a camera on my front door."
Sure. So you could create a series of gifts for IT, and who's the person who handles that stuff? Usually those companies have their own IT department, right?
CISO.
Yeah. See, well, a lot of those companies don't even have CISOs, so they're not even in that. So again, unfortunately, it's either a facilities type individual
Yep.
or it's an IT director type.
So you could create a
person who's
ton
handling
of
that.
product on your website for those people that
Right.
help them do their job better. That also helps them realize that they're incompetent in their job and they really shouldn't be doing. right?
Yeah, and then that's what one of the things we were just talking about too, is maybe start giving away analysis or survey on,
Yes.
this is what you need, this is
Yep.
what.
Well, I would even do that as a product for prospect,
Right.
right? So you could have a very simple product called top 10 ways to. It's hard for me because I don't know what their
I got
problems
you.
are, right?
Okay.
But this IT guy in this office is constantly dealing with his boss coming down on him, going, "Why isn't the black box in the dark room working?"
Mhm.
Right?
Right.
So you could create a product called "Top 10 Ways to Get Your Boss Off Your Back When You're an IT Professional."
Right. Yeah.
And those things lead them to the realization that what they really need to do is actually have an assessment to see where their weak points are at.
Right.
And then from there, then they call you up and go, "Yeah, I think our company actually could benefit from one of your
Right. I
assessments."
got you. Yep.
Great. Well, our assessments are $495 or $1,595 or they're free provided you match this criteria. Do you have 25 employees or you're 40,000 square foot? So going back to this thing, right?
Right.
This is a perfect example of how I say you want them dropping off. Okay? So you could just as easily have this gift that shows them, and then maybe they want to get an assessment.
Mhm.
And the assessment is free provided they fill this information out.
Right.
And this information says, do you have 25 or more employees? It says no.
Right.
Kicked out.
Right.
Sorry, you don't qualify, but we would be happy to do it for a fee
Gotcha.
of $1,500.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you can make the $1,500, great.
Right.
That's cool too.
And essentially, you can't do an assessment unless you have some of the crucial information that you have to collect anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that makes
You
sense.
can- yeah.
No, I'm there with you.
Yeah, and then hopefully by the time there's a conversation with you and with them and Source One Solution, they're already somewhat pre-qualified.
Right.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Cool.
Does it ever make sense to have a pre-qualified form like in between it, if you have more than one product or prospect?
Okay, so you'll always have more than one product for prospect. We
Right.
never want to just have one of anything. We want to
Right.
have tons of gifts. We want to have tons of product for prospects. So what's your question?
Well, I'm just wondering if it, for me, I'm thinking it makes sense to actually have a pre-qualified, because one of the product for prospects that I want to do is just a do-it-yourself 14-day nourish and weight release.
Perfect.
But I don't necessarily feel it needs a pre-qualification before that. I feel like I would like that after that, before my consult
Sure.
call.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
This
it's
is
sort
where.
of a gift, but
Yeah,
it's
this
gift,
is,
but it's a
you
gift
know,
for the email. So
yeah,
it's
this
like
is where I
need
said
to-
yesterday. I said, we don't have to cut the red wire or the blue wire. We're not diffusing a bomb. We're just building this. Here's a perfect example. Your book that you guys end up creating could be a gift or it could be a product for prospect. Really depends, right? Like we give away the KPI books like candy, so those are always gifts. But yet you can buy them on Amazon, so that is a product for prospect. Make sense? We also sometimes sell the books as well. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the event that I spoke at down in Miami, didn't I sell the KPI books?
I
Oh, you weren't there.
I wasn't there. Chris was there.
Here, this is something silly. The book actually says this book compliments of Scott Weber from Franchise Legal Solutions, or it says this book compliments of Hunter Business Law. And I forgot that it said that, and I brought them down and I sold them at the keynote that I spoke at in Miami to her. I just sold them for $10 a piece.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
That's
was like,
salesman.
yeah, it's like shit.
Just
I
free
wonder if
all
they're gonna
over it.
really, it's just free all over it, and I sold it for $10. Yeah. But I didn't get paid to speak. So the deal was that I would go down there on my own dime and I would sell my books.
Yeah. Bring some air with you too. You guys want to buy some air?
Sell that too?
Can you repeat the, you can have as many products for prospects and as many, like, you want to create a lot
Yes.
of products for prospects and gifts.
Correct. The most influential people in the world are the most prolific. They're constantly creating. They're constantly developing. They're constantly building. If you look at when Steve Jobs was with Apple, I mean, the man was just constantly coming up with new ideas and new things, right? So, what do you?
There's hope for me.
What's that?
There's hope for me.
Yeah. So, for example, iTunes is essentially a free gift. You can download it for free on any computer, PC or Apple. and it's a great, cool way to play music. Remember, before iTunes, by the way, if you remember, he revolutionized the music world, because before that it was all Napster, and
Fair share.
yeah, it was all just stealing. And he thought, if I could show people a way to ethically purchase music for such an easy, convenient, minimal, their morals will overtake, and they'll be happy to buy it. And it worked. But he gave away iTunes. And then what did he do? He had a product for prospect called Songs for 99 cents. And then what did you do? Well, then you had to have a player for this. So what you have is a core offering called an iPod, right? And you could buy the
That's
iPod.
a perfect example.
Yeah. And then actually that's still a product for, that's another product for prospect, actually, is the iPod, because ultimately what was the core offering of Apple back then? The core offering was laptops and PCs. Or desktops, sorry, not PC. Yeah. So the idea was you had such a great experience with iTunes, and you had such a great experience with the iPod. I remember specifically when I bought my very first iPhone. I sat there thinking, if these guys have made phones so easy to use and so cool, imagine how it would be using their laptops. And I ended up buying a laptop within 3-4 months of buying my iPhone, because it was such a pleasant experience using this new high technology. I thought, if this is how good they've made this, I'm gonna love their laptops. I went out and bought a laptop. Their product for client, by the way, are their maintenance programs, or their leasing. Yep. So they have corporate leasing. So they call me every 6 months trying to get me to buy another computer. No money down, you just lease it, So that's how Apple has used this. But once again, we didn't invent that. So I keep pointing to it. We didn't invent it. We just identified it.
Yeah.
The best Rolex, by the way. Rolex has a free gift called races. We get to go to these races. We can go see the yachts and the outriggers and all these things, and we can watch them on TV for free, and Rolex pays for it all.
Right.
That's a gift, right? And then at some point in time, we think, I think I'd like to maybe learn a little bit more about Rolex. So what do? We pick up the phone, or we go into a shop or something like that, and we give them our contact information. By the way, this one, I was able to put $50 down to hold the watch, so I could think about it for 30 days. Well, once I put the $50 down, I owned that watch.
Yeah.
But it was frustrating because I didn't have it on my wrist. And I gave this $50, and it didn't even take me 30 days. I came back like I think 3 days later and I said, yeah, I'll buy the watch. So successful companies do this all the time.
Yeah.
Big corporations give away free events. Red Bull gives away the Fluke tag, right? They have all these fun races and all these things. These are free gifts that they give us.
But I think with the $50, it's getting somebody conditioned to make commitments.
Yes.
So the smaller the commitments, the more they're vested into whatever that outcome is that they want.
Yeah, let's have another conversation real quickly here. We're definitely going off topic, but I think this is valuable. I hope it is. It could be
Talking about a sales funnel,
it could be sickness induced, and I think I'm brilliant, but I'm just rambling like an idiot too. I don't know. But remember, we talk about how, and we talked about this on the Launchpad, that environment dictates performance, right? So one of the things that's great about products for prospects and gifts is it allows you to control the environment that your client is in. So let me give you some examples of how environment dictates performance. What is the environment of Facebook? Is Facebook an environment where you ever have your credit card in your hand, metaphorically ready to buy something? No. What is the environment of Facebook? It is free, and it will always be free, right? So we don't get on Facebook for the purpose of buying anything. We get on Facebook for the purpose of escaping reality, right? And living in these fantasy worlds of looking at all these great things. What is the environment of Amazon? Do you ever go onto Amazon without your credit card metaphorically in hand ready to buy? You almost always are on there ready to shop and ready to buy, right? So Amazon controls the environment, and they say, don't come here unless you're ready to buy, because there ain't nothing on here for free, right? Facebook says, don't come on here ready to buy anything because it's all free. So now you look at these people that spend tons of money trying to sell things on Facebook. And there are some people that do fine selling stuff on Facebook. And there are certain times of the year during the holidays and stuff where it's a little bit easier to do that. But by and large, most people that are trying to sell shit on Facebook are just really just pissing away a lot of money. because nobody's in that mindset. That's not the environment to want to buy. So if you're trying to market your product on Facebook and you're trying to sell anything, it's probably not a wise idea. But what people love on Facebook are free things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the cool thing about this process is that it allows you to control the environment. So if I'm on Facebook and I want to get somebody off of Facebook onto my website, the moment they leave the environment of Facebook, they're on a new environment called my website, right? So I can give them something free on Facebook that takes them out of Facebook onto my website. Now it's a new environment. I get to control that environment now, right? And so this environment now states, if you want something else, you're going to give me something else, right? So now there's an exchange of energy. Does it make sense? Yep. So think about this in terms of also when you're developing your gifts and your products for prospects, how can you control the environment to put them in the right environment susceptible for purchasing your product or your service? I would venture to say if you stay on, this is why I think it's ineffective. By the way, same with YouTube. YouTube is a free environment, right? And so people try to market on YouTube all the time, but they're not in the space of the ready to buy. Well, I'll have marketing videos on YouTube, but I'll embed them into my website. So when they're on my website, I get to control that environment. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yep, no problem. Yeah, just go into the conference room. I didn't tell anybody over there. You just tell them, say you need to get to the conference room. And if somebody's in the conference room, use the studio or whatever. There's plenty of offices over there.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. All right.
Don't forget your pen.
Okay, so let's look at your core business. Share with your partners. Just kind of do a little dialogue. Show them your ATM. See if it makes sense to them. Right? Get some feedback. See if they can identify any spots, any patterns of holes, or anything like that. And then we'll get onto the building.
Are we
of-
going from
prospects.
core
What's
to
important, what's not.
down there or from gifts up there?
Woes
Uh,
of consumers,
Either one. I don't
you
care.
know,
Ew,
best
okay.
markets in
So,
the nation.
okay, so if we-
Actually, gifts all the way up.
And then, like,
Because,
From gifts
yeah,
to-
you shouldn't have to explain the journey. The journey should make sense to an outsider. Yeah.
trying to do that.
Well, from gifts we have, companies considering those,
I got the journey from the beginning.
ideas from for the design.
I'm gonna have to leave KPI and plus Sean in face.
And also that you send out
Market analysis, you know, we think that those are live, we can download. So
sometimes we just give them away without any information. Sometimes they have to give us way to send the so, and
training videos, we have
the product that is out there, so we want to customers are consumers doesn't leave this product. And also, of course, product it's also selling. We host our, at the main point of
Even at that 40 miles a day, they can have the free stuff.
Can I,
They can put it on
can you,
their website.
can you comment so that any, both of us, because I have no clue what to do.
Yep.
free download page, free download page, register, take a picture, a photo, you have to update,
call up the
feature type form,
And then,
and then more business products, demo cases, two versions, but this is like.
okay, so when I go to do a presentation, we called up.
So I think, so brokers, it's hard, I mean, you can tell them like how to get permits and stuff like that.
They like to take that over
Like we were talking about the title company, what we did, we gave them stuff that they're always
So,
asking
right, the
for.
prospect.
You're the brain, you're just literally, they're a sales guy. So, for instance, you know, what does,
How do I
how to
get
explain
from
it?
there from the gift in the design office, they get them into
Credit
the
report based
prospect,
on,
and then, you know, we can create.
but all the tools that they essentially would make their job easier to work with their,
We're working
people to provide
how do I switch that and medium from where where I've
will
come
do
in
I was up
with
in
gifts.
I don't know, I was experimenting
I've
with
done a
it.
presentation,
But,
to then switch it into a
I
Back up. How do you get into the office and meet
different stations.
I went into Starbucks. I had
no, they'll be digesting themselves in their own knowledge just to pass on the information.
So this is why it
I don't
was
think they're gonna
nice.
flip them.
There's a girl,
They're-
and I
they
grew
might
up,
like
my
your
knee and
book.
I do my
And
business.
that's another way to look at it.
Who does
And just for
gifts.
the record, he said
Just-
literally
and all she
flock to,
does
so when that happens, I want to be there to see what it looks like
is-
when people are
Say a
flocking.
thank you.
Is that one of your pet peeve words?
No, it just made me chuckle, it just happened to happen.
I had a copyright, that was one of her pet peeve words, so I used it as much as possible. So yeah, I think it's looking at it
I
from
like
that
looking at a
perspective.
model, like,
And also, you're gonna be close, like,
she's but she's doing this as her, this is her community, this is her work. And so, you know, I did my one presentation, I got to know her, and she's like, oh, that's really cool. And then I showed her some stuff, and she goes,
So we call them, like, they call them avatars, but pre-buyers. So it's a personification.
and I
You do
gave
that
her
for the
this,
interview.
I'll show
So
you.
for instance, we're going in there this week, we're meeting with the squall in
Because I
there.
heard somebody else that they were looking
You're
for
welcome to be in there
material.
too, we're literally coming up with.
Oh, I know. It's all about the time.
And then a couple weeks
Um,
ago,
yeah.
we both were ready to do a presentation.
So
I
on that whole
brought
thing,
my
we were just
stuff
talking
to
about
do a
explaining
video
how Fred,
presentation.
I mean, that
And
would
then-
basically work for us too on the survey side. Here's a survey, this is why you do this survey, and this is what you
And it
get
didn't
from
fit, you know.
It is,
so I
yeah.
Okay,
connected
so
her
it's funny
and
story,
so
it's a
I
true
was
story.
able to do
Maybe
it.
Pasquale will tell you this.
And she's
So
not very
Fernandez
secure
and
for
Ness,
her life.
Yeah.
right?
And I bought these
A
little
couple
bottles
months
of
ago,
liquor.
they were already a customer, a
So I
guy
had a
who felt
dozen
like
of
he
them, and
needed
I
to
said,
see
here,
it.
use them.
Right? A couple
for,
months ago,
you know,
the
get
unit
the
was drove
because they knew my video.
I don't know if you remember right here in Tampa, had lost control and crashed all of a sudden.
Everybody thought she was awesome.
Okay, I want things here, so I'm not gonna hit my building, and I want this camera. So,
And then
as
the
a
holidays, and then
didn't really do a
yesterday,
good job of selling on what the
I
survey
saw
was. I'll just come in and give you
I
a
said,
survey.
so,
Right.
be able to show
Well, he's
the
nice
guy.
guy, but he's not the guy
She
you
said,
want to be
oh,
with the sword.
She didn't want to get
So,
the thing back.
am I wrong?
Yeah, no.
All right, so very smart guy, but you know
I
he's
said, I'm parked this way,
not a
I just
salesman.
drive
So
to the garage. I'm like,
they go in there and you know they do that one camera and he's like, no, I know what I need, right? This is what I need. So we put in another camera.
and then,
Well, it's an on-one area, and we're like, you know, we really like to do this. No, no. And then it's like,
I'm sitting here
so
thinking,
he has
okay,
one parking lot, his
either
building,
she's
one parking lot,
really
he
good
has another
friends with
parking
this
lot.
designer,
Okay?
or she works
3
here.
days ago, somebody pulled into Fernandez's parking lot, backed up to his boat trailer and stole
She
it.
goes, well, the designers are here. So I met the designer for Latin
And they're like,
the designer
I
for
can't get anything on the plate. We're
And then
thinking,
design-
well, if we could put the camera where we want to, you know, let us do a survey and tell you that
No,
the
was I
camera, we
ready?
would have had his front plate, his back plate, his
I have
face,
it here?
everything.
Is he buying it?
But he is now. Yeah, but see,
Anyway, what
he's
we
buying
end
it
up doing
because,
is
what are we talking about, right? It's a point, now he's there because of a point of pain.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
His only motivators were.
Right,
Yeah.
pain is now his motivator. So, I found that story.
No, that's hilarious, man.
We were talking about point of pain yesterday, I mean, that's pretty much how we got.
Also,
We
it's
were
a
doing a
sales
little
story when you go into somebody saying one camera.
That is my call.
Like, dude, let me give you a taste of
Here's
it.
one.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see if I got it. If you guys like it, I would love to come to the presentation. That's my call.
Yeah. So your gift is the box.
Yeah.
Yep. The one that I have in the office.
Yeah.
Yep. Should bring that over to you.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
Because that gets me in the door.
Yeah.
So just so Joe Fernandez may want a new boat so that he doesn't have to tow.
You don't ask
Because
for a
apparently he
start,
can't
you
keep
don't
an eye
ask
on
for
his
a
track.
turn. You just say, this
Is
is
he on the Kennedy?
look at it if you like it.
Is it
Great
Fernandez
example.
and Mueller?
Okay.
Do you wrap it?
Fernandez and
No.
Fernandez.
I just give it in. I have my business card and it said I would love to talk to somebody.
People love
This
opening
is
wrapping
Fernandez and
presents.
Fernandez.
Or have you just wrap it?
Personal injury guy?
We know
Oh,
how to
it's
win.
changing the design.
We
Because
want
what
to
you were
win.
saying.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
That commercial
like,
that's
the
20 years
difference,
old
we're
and you
gonna
see
change
them
the
in person,
design.
like, you're not those two people. It's so bad. Does anybody
Yeah,
read
the
KPI?
box is
It's
that.
bad.
Because that's the other thing.
That
I was
commercial was
thinking,
recorded in
and then my
96.
company was like, okay, so we do the videos online. That doesn't
The
really
bookstore
get.
downtown St. Pete.
That's gonna get
It's
like
from the
a weird
80s.
person like
They
the
played on Baynews Knob.
individual
Right.
And literally, it's not widescreen.
And then that also just gives us credibility. The coasters.
And then right through the middle, that line of colors goes to boom.
Yeah. Well, the guy
People
that
are
was in
like,
the commercial, he's dead. Like, he died. He's not with us anymore.
So I've gotta come up with that, because that would be a great.
Well, I think it's like that for,
Whatever.
it's for the wagon wheel.
Right. And because they can just run events for the promo.
I think, yeah, my buddy
And
used to date,
then you did that
his
thing.
daughter.
Right, and then there's the
Because,
guy
you know,
from Register Chevy, and at the end they show the guy, the judge with the mallet, and he's like,
That I can say, you know,
that guy's dead too.
He ought to be.
Because all of the gifts that we do is just pretty much the catalogs that we send out to, that we get
Can I
from
go
our
get the box to
manufacturers.
show her? Because then you can incorporate some of what I've done. Because it's, well, just images, but it's in a different.
Yeah, well, is it, Michelle was telling me, like, I should probably do like my selection of catalogs.
So they have you right now focusing strictly on
I
management.
can do my
Correct.
Security.
Just security.
Just security. There's gonna be crossover there, so our goal is to drive in the security leads and then upsell them to MSP. So in that, because I mean, the MSP market is
regular basis that they turn
right?
around.
So it's really hard to even, get a foothold in any of
Reaction
those
from
spaces.
people
Look on the security, there's a hell of a lot
some
more
kind of,
potential.
yeah.
Well, that's what I was, I took the thing, that's what I was talking about.
Just our selection rather than.
We go right here.
Right.
You know, on the MSP side, the MSP market is saturated, but everybody wants the same pool of people to do their MSP on.
Right.
Right? And then, Aaron's thing was, I want to do local, I want to do local, I want to do local, and what ends up happening, we're landing that outside the local space. Right? So for argument's sake, I have an old employer, Lloyd Staffing. Lloyd is the largest privately held staffing
struggle with this because I guess
Guy started
I
the
try
company
to
35 years ago in his garage.
a customer,
Last year he did
which
65.
he was talking about yesterday,
Okay. So they have
which
New
I
York
think I
City
understand.
office, Long Island
We've
office,
always
Fort
thought this
Lauderdale
way
office.
is
He's got a
our
couple of
customer
franchise
really
offices in the DC area. So I think it's like a total of between 11 and 14 offices on the East Coast for Lloyd Staff.
until they become a closed deal,
One
then
I
they become a customer.
He's my friend. And then this other guy who handles
Seems
all
like
the
we're
function.
trying
And I was like,
to
Phil. He's like, man, I
find our
can't
ideal
talk. He's like,
referral
it's a cesspool.
source and weed out.
So it's like, typical.
Get us to 500 because even
I'm like,
before
well,
you said that,
who's doing all your
I've got
desktop
to
support?
make
I'm
$2
like,
grand
not
a
me.
year.
I'm like, what happens when a rider comes out? Yeah, that's me.
Yep,
I'm like,
I know it.
you don't even know all that stuff. Just, dude,
And it
we're losing our
frustrates
ass.
my salespeople
All
sometimes
that
when
stuff.
we want to do a small deal.
So I actually,
I'm not interested.
because, and again, this was a hook, but I was
do
like,
it,
you
but
need
I
to
can't
talk
pay
about
you.
it. So Aaron is
I've gotta
actually
make my
talking to him today on his spot. You know what I mean? Because if he could,
So-
right there, without having to deal with the pain of
Yes.
dealing with,
Right.
the 550 to 800 users he has nationwide,
To say,
through the
provide them
MSP
with the
piece.
tools on the
That's
gift
what we
side.
focus on, a lot of the content.
I would even go further. I would actually come up with,
Right.
what are those? I would
So-
Well, a lot of times people don't know what their pain is.
yeah.
That went back to yesterday. What is your, what's that? What are you trying to, what emotion are you trying to create? Right? Trying to create that painful emotion.
We should create an ebook.
now
What is that?
What does IT do to get this for?
Right.
The whole goal of that is to show you that you can afford it.
Right, and you're absolutely right.
So it's just like, okay, look, we have this,
want to give them all right.
and it's a fraction of the cost.
You know what you develop what that is. So now what?
Right, and that's the thing too, and that was kind of what my point was yesterday, right? So, Lloyd Staffing is what?
For example, it's like to solve their
Full-fledged. They don't just do IT staffing, they are a segregated staffing company, so they have a biomed staffing department, they do travel medicine, they have a department again, they do full-fledged head-on permanent placement stuff on retainer, retained search. So there is, a department that just does sales and marketing.
Yeah.
There is an executive, and then there's the whole test piece, which is admin assistants, you need someone call in sick day, can you get me a temp?
Yeah.
You know, so there's a temp piece to it.
Membership.
So, that's what you do. You're not an IT company. Why are you trying? And not nothing. Most people, if there's anybody who needs their ID to be working, it's those people. Right?
Yeah.
One IT guy. You call him. You call him your CEO. No, because they don't see the value. Right?
Yeah.
They know how much IT people cost because they have an IT staffing manager, right? So they understand how much their customers are paying for.
I
I called one guy, I gave him a title.
Yeah, my sales
You know,
agent,
and, you know, and
sales.
it's like all those other small companies. It's like, I'm a VP. Yeah, but it's you. You know what I mean? No, I fed my cat this morning. You know what I mean? It's like, me, what?
I had a boss early in my career where he said, "What's my title going to be?" Like, hey, solve their problems.
Their problems are how to
Exactly. Rob does that all the time. It's like, oh, bring this guy. What do you want a title?
Like
I'm
some big lighting company. And
Yeah,
see
because they're,
what they
You can't have everybody be a VP. So, exactly.
license
So,
or
I think that's a great point.
an office cleanliness engineer.
Which ones they have.
you can hire
That's a
people.
perfect example of like you certainly have. That's also a great case.
Yeah, well, right now they are.
Hey guys, can I get your attention? Hey guys, I want to get your attention real quickly. So I want you to think even broader. Grant just brought something to my awareness that I maybe didn't communicate effectively enough. So what you're doing here is you're creating content. Michelle?
Yes, sir.
That's okay. You're creating content. It was easy. I didn't even. You're creating content which is so valuable for those people that they're ingratiated to you. That product that you create may have nothing to do with your service. So let me give you an example of this. Grant finances RVs, high-end RVs, private planes, and yachts, right? So who is his customer? His customer, he's isolated, is the referring agent. In other words, the yacht broker or the plane broker, the person who's found the customer to want to buy the yacht or the plane, right? But it's that the person buying the plane really isn't his customer, although he does work with them. The customer really is the yacht broker, because that person can give them consistent business over and over and over. So do yacht brokers, is their problems that they're dealing with on a daily basis, is it have anything to do with the financing?
No.
Probably not all the time. Maybe that's sometimes, maybe, but for the most part, that's not their problem. What are their problems? Now, I don't know, but here's my guess. Their problems are how to overcome objections to actually sell the yacht. Their problems are actually how to go out and find the wealthy people and communicate to wealthy people in a way which doesn't make them look beneath them, but also doesn't try to put them above them, right? So if Grant were to create a series of training programs for how to overcome objections, or a sales training program, or a communication skills course on how to communicate with the uber wealthy,
He's gonna sell more.
and that has nothing to do with financing, right? But he has solved the problems that his ideal customer is facing. And do you think they would be ingratiated to him if he would help solve those problems? So then he could literally, if he wanted to, depending upon how he put this in the ATM model, he could actually charge for this sales training program or this communication skills course or something like that. Or he wouldn't have to charge for it, but he could actually do it in exchange for a product, for a prospect, right? In exchange for exclusivity deals with that yacht broker, all of their financing. He will provide sales training for all of their salespeople. Now that is something I promise you no other financing company has actually even thought about. So he would be unique, he would be different. It's all blue ocean for him. He'd probably crush it. Get the idea? So when you're looking at your products for prospects and your gifts, don't necessarily always think that they have to lead people right back to your sale. What they have to do is have them ingratiated to you because you helped them solve one of their problems in their life. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So to play devil's advocate on that
Yeah.
point, because it's something that I deal with, but we'll speak about Grant because that's where we are. So does he run the risk then, when doing something like that, of somebody seeing something and go, this guy's a finance guy. How is he going to tell me how to sell something?
Yeah.
Right? So is that something that you should be cognizant of as you're putting that material together?
That's really more the sales pitch to make sure you overcome those objections, yeah. But it is an issue there. I think the biggest risk he would have is he would end up coming up with a second company, which would be highly profitable, and all of a sudden he'd own two companies. One was a sales training company or something like that. But Grant asked a really great question. And he says, are there people that have white labeled things like that I could just buy? Because he goes, these are his words, he goes, could you put me on video? And right. So I liked how he immediately thought about how could I actually outsource that whole process to somebody else. So there are probably I would assume, white labeled sales training programs or communication skills courses or something like that. I don't know of anything like that, but I do know that Google can find just about anything if you search for it the right way. So I would look into that and see if you can find some white labeled sales training programs but you really want to be specific to high-end toys or something like that. And I would even see if you could find white labeled communication skills for the uber wealthy or something like that.
I
That'd be
actually
really
have
cool.
a friend who is, I mean, she's a personal coach, but she's also a sales coach, and she creates programs for people, and they are proprietary to those companies.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
I can give her that information. She might be a good sort of, but at least it would be a good start.
Kind of like a ghostwriter, but
Yeah, it's essentially the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Like she works with PayPal. She like help them through their transition training, and she also does like a lot of just how to raise your like basically sales training
Yeah.
on how to identify those emotional connections and how to sell on them. And if it's proprietary, she will just package it for that particular company, and she cannot use it anywhere else. It just belongs to them.
I think you're onto something, Grant.
material.
Yeah.
It's just
Re-record
it's
it and add in
yeah,
the
narrow it
spot,
down and
or
make it
Yep.
make it a presentations or something that just geared towards one.
Yeah, I mean,
particular
literally,
product.
the whole sales training program is the same except for the word yacht, aircraft, or RV,
Yeah.
right? So you literally pay them to do the same thing 3 times, but you don't pay them the same value for all 3 because it's the same stuff. But I tell you what, now, minimize your risk here. Pick one of those 3. Develop a prototype, a minimum viable product, something quick and simple. Call your best customer who's a best referring agent. Say, hey, I'm thinking about creating a system that helps you guys do your job easier. Give me some feedback on this. What do you think? And I think within about 6 months, you could have a really cool product or prospect created there that would be worthy of charging. Whether you want to charge for it or not is up to you. I think maybe you can even have different options to where you could have them pay for it for a monthly subscription fee, or if they're willing to give you exclusivity rights, it's free. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. All right, you guys getting the ideas, yeah?
Yes.
Cool. All right, have you got some ideas on what you could create for, so first off, first question, are you happy with your core offerings? Or do you need to add more to your core offering or take stuff of your core offering away, Michelle?
Pardon?
Oh, Michelle, other Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Or
I was like
take
Macy, I was
something
like,
away.
I was going to charge. I'm kind of gonna keep them, because there's like Master Dealer 1.0 and Master Dealer 2.0.
Okay, so 2.0 might be product for client?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have that currently set up right now, or are you thinking this is how
I'm
you?
working it.
Gotcha.
I'm working towards it, yeah.
All right, well, this is the
Yeah.
best time to work it right now and
Yeah.
start to create that then. Okay, cool. Patty, what about you? Have you given some thought to this?
I have, and I have a lot that I want to add into my core business.
Yeah.
And also, because like when I did this sheet, what I did is what I have now and
Yep.
what I want to add.
Yep.
And so, I have actually more time yesterday and today, and especially some of the suggestions that came out of the group that I want to add into my core business. You know, I don't have like a 3-tier program right now that I definitely want to add.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to add in either gifts or product or prospects, Michelle and I were having a conversation yesterday, is something about more like in guides. You know, if you're going to a trade show, you know, what do you need to bring? If you're going on a business trip that's 2 days, what do you need to bring? If you're going on a business trip that involves, you know, a dinner out, what do you need to bring? Like, I can create these things, and they're like super easy for me to do.
Yeah.
Actually, let's-
Patty, let me tell you a fun story. So and this, by the way, this is a good story for everybody because it'll help you to really start thinking. So in the UK, we had one of our clients. She was a manners coach. So if you want to talk about the hardest sell in the world, could you imagine trying to be a manners coach? Who the hell wants to pay for manners coaching, right? But she
Meghan
was.
Markle.
What's that?
Meghan Markle.
Well, she was into this, man. She loved the whole proper thing, but it was a tough sale because generally speaking, most people that value manners have them. Most people that don't have them don't value them, right? So she had a real hard time with this. So when she came on to KPI, we were struggling with how do you put manners coaching in a core offering, right? To be anything powerful. Well, first off, we realized that she needed to get out of the individual manners coaching. She needed to get into the corporate executive manners coaching to where she would work with a team of executives about how to behave when they traveled international to that country with their particular set of rules, right? But what she ended up doing was, during the product for prospect, she ended up creating, based upon Daniel's advice, a high tea kit. So she had her book called Play Nicely, which nobody wanted to buy because nobody wants to read a book about manners, right? So she had a great book that nobody wanted to buy. So she created a high tea kit, and she created a high tea kit because she always loved going to the Ritz on Sunday afternoon at 4 for the tea, loved the white gloves, the pomp and the circumstance, very British, right? And she really thought that people would really love to have that, but there's a lot of people that, quite frankly, can't get to the Ritz for the high tea because they're too old, or convalescent homes, or maybe, well, actually, what she ended up, after she created the product, a hidden thing came up, was that it became the #1 gift in the UK from Muslim-based companies. Because you can't buy Muslims alcohol, but you can get them a high tea kit. Now, this high tea kit had everything you could need to have a high tea party. The biscuits, the scones, the tea, all of this stuff, right? And she built this kit, and inside the kit was her book, Play Nicely. And this became a corporate gift that companies would purchase as a gift to doing business with people. She started selling a ton of these things. She even ended up hosting the world's largest tea party and got it in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Wow.
Yeah, and got massive. This woman's all over the press now. Yeah, she's in. Huh?
How many people?
I don't know. We got some pictures on our website. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it was pretty fucking huge. Yeah, I mean, multiple thousands and thousands of people. It's very parallel, similar to what you're doing,
that.
right? Is like,
Yeah, I got that.
right? Could you create a kit, right? A box. Like the big thing right now that I see these ads on Facebook all the time for these tie clubs and these shoe clubs and stuff like that. Is there a way you could partner with some sort of clothing manufacturer to create a kit that has a tie and a scarf or something like that? Or maybe just go find those companies that are already doing that and white label it. I don't know. But
Right.
but that would be like seems to me like if a guy's willing to spend $100 on a kit,
Your charisma.
they're
is-
pre-qualified to say, I want to look my best, right? But now, does that tie and scarf fit with the jacket? Does it fit with the pants? Does it fit with this? So if you had those kits like that in your product for prospect, I think it would be a really good.
Yeah, I think
Lead
you're
it.
right.
Yeah.
I need to figure out exactly what needs to go in it, but I think you're right.
What was
Yeah.
like an accent kit, you know? We have like a kerchief, you know, a little bow tie, like
Yep.
a tie, or like socks, like those things that are.
Oh yeah, sock
Well,
tie.
one thing that I hear a lot from my clients is nobody ever knows what a shoe kit is.
Like a clean your shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ever knows
Yeah.
what it, in the world that I came from, like it's just like everybody has one.
Yeah.
You know, and like you're talking about tea, like nobody wants to go to tea. I'm like, the world I come from, everybody wants to go to tea.
Yeah.
Like I know tons of people. I know tons of people who want books on manners.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I could rattle off like 24 people in a matter of seconds. Here's who wants manners.
Yeah. So think about
So-
that. Get creative, and you don't have to be the manufacturer. You just have to find the people
Right.
and align that up.
Okay.
Right? The most successful companies now don't own inventory anyway. They just broker the
Right.
stuff anyway. That's why Luda's got actually a pretty good business model, whether she thinks or not. She doesn't own anything. She's like an Airbnb for lamps.
Yeah.
It's
You
good.
know, I've seen that thing where like Google doesn't really own anything and
Yeah.
Uber doesn't really own anything and
Yeah.
you know.
So you just broker the kits, but it's a product for prospect. It's not your
Okay.
mainstream of income. But the cool thing about product for prospects, by the way, is that sometimes product for prospects keep the lights on. You know, if you look at a Vegas, for example, a product for prospect in Vegas in a casino is the slot machines. Slot machines actually make such revenue that the revenue generated from slot machines pay for their entire expenses in the entire casino. All of the other gambling in a casino is pure profit once you take away the one-armed bandits.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they're the worst odds,
Yeah.
right? So they generate so much revenue that basically they pay for all the expenses of a casino. So sometimes your product for prospects can be the things that pay for your electric bill, pay for your. I mean, we've got. If you look at like what we're doing, I mean, we lease out 3 of our offices. That's not really a product for prospect, but shit, it almost pays for a whole rent. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys have some ideas on some products that you want to create?
Yes.
Yep. Let's hear them.
So one would be an assessment based on the book. I create assessments all the time.
Okay.
Whenever I'm
presenting ideas so that people can get a sense of who they are and where they are, so
Yep.
that's easy.
Okay.
Self-directed training, I saw this website called the Movement Fix. It was just beautiful, looked very much in the business model of what we're talking about. $97 for a self-directed, right? Or you can go to one of their live events, but I'm not gonna go to the live event. I'll
Sure.
pay $97.
The 97 is a product for prospect. The live
Yeah.
event is their core offering, probably.
Yeah. And then, but a thing I've thought about not only as a product for prospect, but also as something as an ongoing, is that there's literally thousands of tools to drive innovation out in the world, and the majority of people, the books are expensive. They're anywhere from $50 to $100, and then you've got to read through all the stupid words. So a kit, like for product for prospect, it would be an ultimate kit.
Mhm.
I like that.
For translating ideas to money. So that kit, which would be all, for the $1 million teams, it would be some visualization, basic stuff.
Mhm.
But that would have people find me on Amazon,
Yes.
right? Not just my website, but they could also buy it off of Amazon.
Mhm.
And then I would actually skip over, it wouldn't exist at all in the core offering, but it would exist in the product for client, which would be a monthly retainer, like a Birchbox, not a deliver.
Yes.
Live every month.
Good.
Yeah, which came with like little thing of Post-its, another marker, because you run out. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got to go find but if it's just delivered to them every single month.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. How soon, what kind of a window could you have those kits created by?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I was actually going to talk to you about it because you produce stuff,
Okay.
and I don't know. You seem to have things produced, just to get your feedback on it. And then Kula Brands, which is a product development firm out of Sarasota, they do online campaigns. I was going to talk to the owner of that.
Okay.
To see in the product development space how long that would take.
Do you have a clear enough idea what would be in that product for prospect such that you think you could create some gifts to get people interested in that product for prospect now?
100%.
Great.
I mean, all the gifts would, yeah.
Great. All right, cool. Michelle, number 2 or number 1, depending upon how you guys fight it out. What do you have? What's your product for prospect?
Product for prospect?
Yep.
I just went all over the place, but okay, so market analysis for local markets. So we know the indicators to look for: thriving markets, homeowners, incomes over X. If they
Yep.
wanted us to do like a little deep dive or whatever with 5 KPIs.
Okay. Cool.
My book, and charge for that.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
The expanded videos.
Okay.
So we have probably 20 of those on specific topics.
Yep.
A training manual, which
Okay.
our training manual right now is kind of more an overview of the company history and the products and the quality it's made with. So I don't know how interested people would pay for that. They're not going to pay for that. That's more just like you want to know more.
Okay.
Free demo case potentially once a month. Register to win a free demo case or register to win a
Okay.
new fixture.
Okay.
Photo contest. Obviously, we'll feature your photo if you win in your company.
Okay.
And then a feature story on the corporate site, potentially,
Okay.
on your company. That's it.
There's one other one that you've missed, which is your master dealer conference. That's clearly a product for prospect.
We don't charge for it though.
Doesn't
Or
matter.
When you say how does that, I put it over under my core offerings.
I would think, maybe I'm confused, but isn't the Master Dealer Congress event designed to convince people to join on to
Yes.
your program? Then that's a product for prospect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So dealer congress.
Yeah, it's probably your single most significant product for prospect that you do every year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, do you have free gifts that get people into wanting to go to the Master Dealer Congress? This is where your business will explode, right? Because right now there's probably not a lot set up there. So you guys are, and I'm guessing because I've done events for 30 years, you're busting your hump trying to get people to sign up for the event. You're chasing them down. You're doing phone calls, blah, 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 right? All of that can be automated through series of just unbelievable little gifts that get people to say, if you like this, we got a Master Dealer Congress coming up every year, blah, blah, blah. If you'd like, we can send you the videos from
We
that
have
Master.
that one video. I don't know if you've watched it. It's like the one you
Yeah.
helped me with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a gift, but
Kind
we
of,
get to
yeah.
watch it.
It's not a lot of value. It's more of a sales pitch.
Right.
But like for example, if you took clips from the Master Dealer Congress last year, which I think you said, break them down into like 2 to 5 minute videos.
I have short ones. So
Short
we
ones,
have,
right?
I always take the videos from the event
Yep.
and the speakers, and I have the 1.5-minute ones, and then I have the expanded versions of them if they were really good.
Great. So what you want to do is you want to have a lot of those little short ones, right? Those are free gifts, and they're everywhere. They're on YouTube, they're on Vimeo, they're on SlideShare, they're
That's
on
what I have on my
website.
free
Yep.
gifts.
Gotcha. And then with each one of those is like, now if you'd like to learn more about this was from our Master Dealer Congress. If you'd like to be considered as one of the invitees, we'll send you in exchange the entire video that you just saw just by submitting your information, right? And now that you have them submit the information, now you've got yourself a hot lead for somebody who might be a good qualified candidate for the Master Dealer Congress, right? Do you see how reverse engineering this stuff makes it so much more effective? When you
So
start
Dealer
beginning-
Congress, do you, and this is a stupid question, but you have, sometimes I call that our core business too. We don't make money on them because the event costs us $70,000 to
Yeah, no, it's
grow.
not your core
So it's not one
offering.
of my core
No, it's your
offerings,
product
so
for prospect. Yeah, it
goes
really is.
into the other. Okay.
Yep,
All right.
yep. It's your product for prospect. You could also argue that maybe it's a product for client if the only people who come to your Congress are previous deal, because it's a mix, right? It's some customers and some leads, right? Yeah. So you could argue, that it's also a bit of a product for client because your current partners, you want them to come to the Congress every
Correct.
year, and they don't pay.
No, they pay.
Oh, they do pay.
Pays, yeah.
Okay, got it.
We only want people that want to have a vested interest in their success.
Got it. Yeah. So I would actually throw this as a product for prospect and a product for client. It's a product for client if they're already a partner. It's a product for prospect if they're not a partner.
Okay.
Yeah. But the marketing for those two are completely different, right?
Right.
So the marketing for the prospects has to be through gifts. The marketing through the product for clients has to be through excellent customer service. Do you guys get that? So because let me break this down a little bit more here. So if you go back to this chart, let me just show you this real quickly. So this is how the transitions occur. So, whoop.
I just have a quick comment because also like the way that I learn.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm not jealous, that's not the right word, but I admire in you,
Uh-huh.
being able to compartmentalize. So it's almost like when somebody says something, you're already going, okay, products for prospects.
Right, yeah.
You're going, okay, that's a gift.
Yeah.
I want to have that intel where I'm able to decipher very quickly. Keep it simple. It's 4 pillars, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like your 5 steps to becoming published. Where does it fall in? Your clarity piece. When I'm selling it to people, I'm like, it's your clarity, your credibility, your problems you solve, and your why. I can do that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I really admire the steps, and I want to be able to think like that because I think
It just takes time.
Yeah.
This is something that's
Because
brand
it's-
new to you. I've been doing it for 5 years, so I'm not that smart.
I just like it.
Thanks. So you've got your gifts. Once you give them something so great, then in order for them to get the product, you've got to capture their data. Name, email, money, whatever, okay? Once they're a product for prospect, in order for them to get into your core, there has to be a sales conversation. Okay? So you come in for a strategy session. At the end of the strategy session, we have a sales conversation. Sell you into KPI, right? Once you're into the program, how do you then get people to sign up for your other stuff? It's through great customer service. The only way a customer will become a client is because it's suspect, prospect, customer, client. The only way a customer becomes a client is you can provide such excellent customer service that at this point in time, it's a laydown. Right? So our goal is to be as transparent as possible. Our goal here is in the core business with KPI, we want to give you guys such great customer service that when we offer you the brand ambassador at the end of the program, you're like, yeah, why wouldn't I want to do it? It's a no-brainer. Yes.
Did you also, I thought you said something about maybe that's the point you were trying to make. When do you do the, are you willing to commit XYZ time?
Right here.
It's in that data capture, not even in the sales conversion.
Correct.
So they weed themselves out
Yes.
in the data capture itself.
Or we weed them out for them, yeah. Certainly we've had people that have filled it out. We just call them up, we say, strategy session's not for you. Unless you're willing to, if it says right here that you're not willing to invest time, then why would you want to go through the program?
Which
Yeah.
actually makes people want it more.
Sometimes it pisses them off, but we don't
You
care
know
because they
that.
weren't going to get them as a sale
Nah,
anyway.
you can't really
Not good enough for
do
you.
this.
What is this?
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, there is the takeaway. Sometimes that does work real well. All right, cool. So Michelle, we got clear with you. Lewis, what is your product for prospect, or one that you could create, or a couple of them?
Well, actually, one of the things looking at was an assessment
Yep.
in that nature. And one of the kind of gifts that just kind of popped in my mind is we have a trial version
A trial version.
that we can actually give a 30-day trial version for any of the cloud solution products we have.
Okay. That's still probably more of a product for prospect, I would assume. And the only reason I say that is because there's no way they could really sign up for a trial without giving you data first, right?
Correct.
So that's also another way to a great way. So here's to go back to your comment, like how do I know which one's a product for prospect? So if the service that you're going to provide them in any way requires them to give you contact information, it's probably a product for prospect.
So,
I'm not saying that, by the way, when you give somebody a gift, you don't have their contact information already. Certainly, when somebody signs up for a CEO social, we already have all of their information, right? But we're not, there's no conditions on that. Gifts are conditionless. We're just giving it to you. Yep. Great example, Claire, this is her gift that she goes out to people. So she'll cold call companies, and she'll just walk in with this gift. And she just goes up,
What is it?
gives it to them.
There we go.
And she goes, hi, my name's Claire. I'm with Frameworks. We're a custom manufacturing facility here in Miami that allows you to produce world-class products on multiple levels of different formats. This is a sampling of some of our products. I'd like to just leave this with you, and if you have any questions, give us a call. Kind of, I don't know what your exact
Right.
pitch is, but
Those are all the different services that we can print off.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
I want to know.
Let me share with everyone.
She has some really cool stuff. The coolest thing, I think, do you have the 3D printing in that one?
No.
Yeah.
No, but it prints
So you
out
do
everything.
all of this?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if I had a client that inevitably always asks me, what do I do with this big picture that you just did for our company? I say,
Yeah.
I have actually,
Right.
Okay.
And then what we could do is like those posters that I.
do you guys provide installation or
Yeah,
just
yeah, totally. Well, soup to nuts.
anywhere?
Yeah, my guys love to go to Italy and Hawaii. They've been asking.
I was just asking Tim.
She's got this, she has a printer, by the way, that is a 3D,
No,
it's not 3D.
2D.
but it's textured print.
Is that what this is? The wall
It's
cover?
an 8-foot by 10-foot printer, and it's a flatbed. So it goes over, and it can keep going over and over.
But it prints texture.
This right here.
So like if you've got a turtle,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
feels like the turtle. If you've got an elephant, it feels like the elephant. It's the no, it's like literally bumpy ink. Like it's 3D.
Can you stop talking about it? Because now John's sitting next to me rubbing stuff, and I'm just, you know,
This is quite a media kit. How much does this kit
about
cost
to
you?
move it.
Each kit is probably $20.
You're kidding.
No, it's 13.
But she's trying to get a $20,000 to $200,000 to $2 million account. Lewis, let's go back to you. Sorry, I kind of grandstanded you there. There was something about this. Yeah. What's that? So Lewis, you talked about a kit. Oh, this was what I was talking about. So if you're giving a 30-day trial, that's probably a product for prospect. Yeah.
I want one of these.
What? And that's okay. We're just at product for prospect right now, anyway. So I like this as a product for prospect. Were there anything else you had on there?
No, that's the only thing I would think of.
It says
One of
talk
them,
soon.
to like get their information. I think one of the things we did was created like maybe like an assessment, like here's the 10 things you need to consider for your IT environment.
Yeah, we'll get to those things here after this next break. But yes, right now I'm just focusing on product for prospect. Have you thought of some ideas for product for prospect?
Yes, I have some things that I already do.
Okay.
I already do an initial consultation with someone for my professional women's club. Somebody comes as a one-time guest. I text, email, consult with people, you know, like singular things, like
Mhm.
stuff like that all the time. Those actually might be gifts, now that I think about it. It took me to say it out loud to realize that. But then some of the other things that we've been talking about, like the guide.
Okay, so when you say an assessment could be a gift,
Yeah.
that to me is an alarm.
So what?
That's an alarm for me. Because gifts, a couple of criteria for a gift. Number one, it can't run you broke producing it. That one concerns me a little bit. For the amount of clients you're getting, I think it's $20 investment is well worth it. But the other thing is that it can't take a tremendous amount of your time. If you were to do, like, gifts ideally you want to have gifts be so automated that they don't have to consume any amount of your time really, or they should be at least scalable. So an assessment would be a very hard gift for you to do, because you could essentially be working 50 hours a week doing assessments and not making any money, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I wouldn't make them a gift.
but I don't mean an assessment for, I mean an assessment for them to do to determine if they feel like they
I'm
need
sorry.
this.
I'm sorry.
That's
Yep.
what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. I'm an idiot.
Okay, good.
Got
I
it.
feel
Yeah,
hard to
I
take
was
apart,
with you.
like, wait,
Yeah, I didn't think it was
Like,
size of it.
we did this video, we did a
Huh?
video, and
Yeah.
the lady said
Shit.
to us when we were doing the video, this is what I do not want you to wear. You cannot like, so, because we had to bring like 20 outfits, right? And she said, I don't want any party that say plaid or stuff like
That's
that.
a good call, we do that for photo shoots, you're right.
So why not say, if you're gonna go do a photo shoot, send me an email and I'll tell you what not to wear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know? So then the person goes, oh my God, it's something I'm not supposed to wear, because then all of a sudden, I don't know about you, but when somebody says I'm not supposed to do something, it goes, oh, excuse the French, oh fuck, what is that?
Love how you always say,
That's what
excuse
I
my
say,
French.
French.
where if somebody says, I'll tell you what to wear, I'll be like, I know what to wear. But somebody's already giving me the negative, you can't wear this, and it's like, oh shit, what can't I wear?
Yeah.
You know? So it's like you're playing on the negative, making it a positive.
Yeah. Now that I know what you're talking about, that does sound like a gift, by the way. So thank you. Sorry about that one. Self-assessment.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Just put the word self in there.
yes, okay,
All right, cool.
yeah.
All right, good. Listen, we'll get to you, Grant, in a second. I just realized it's already 10:40. So let's take a break. Let's stretch and refresh, take care of our biological needs, and then we'll be back here in 10 minutes. So,
You're sounding much better.
huh?
What did you do? Like,
I'm feeling a little bit better. I literally just...
I usually don't sit this close to him, it's all me.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
No,
the
it's
Don
just the
Billy.
positive.
It's the Don Billy
My
love.
aura.
That's
Don
so,
Billy love.
so are you
bad
a
choices.
believer now?
Oh, I had no
After you
doubt.
were coming
I had
down
no
with,
doubt.
like,
I had no
if
doubt.
you didn't
I'll
take
be
that,
chewing on garlic tonight as well.
No vampires for you.
Right after your event, straight up your
That I
Or let's
raw.
step
I
out.
was just showing her one of the
Sounds like it's going to be one of those both conversations.
Well, there's,
Jody and Dale, or Jody?
I asked for
Take
and
it all
also
down.
raw time, so like this was, it's not one single year, that's actually these three.
Oh, geez.
do you want me to summarize?
Yeah.
This was going next to their executive office, and it's like,
Right.
but if this was.
That won't smell the best, but you
No.
know.
Oh, gosh, no, that. I can't even imagine it being in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Most of these, they were something that they can
Yeah.
take down or move to.
You use.
No, I don't think I need an antibiotic. I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, there's no, it's all clear.
If you have a fever,
I don't think I have it now. I think it's gone. Well, I had one this morning and last night.
No.
I don't know.
I'm saying,
you said yes, so I made that, I started that.
Oh, this right
Okay, so
here.
cloud jumper is just.
Yeah, 'cause I noticed
No, I
they
don't think we
didn't
should
do
part
this
it. Just,
one.
let's keep it, let's do it part. It's okay. Mayors don't get days off.
everybody, yes.
It's okay. I'm
Okay.
feeling good. I'll be fine.
She's concerned about your health, I'm concerned about perception.
It's all right.
People come in and you're sick, I think that's what we are.
Sorry. So perception would look worse if I canceled because I'm so feeble I
But
can't.
listen,
I'm feeling better, by the way. I really
the
am.
news just reported this morning that we're seconds away from declaring a state of emergency because of the flu.
Wow. I don't think I have the flu. I'm really, honestly, I'm feeling like within the last 30 minutes, all of a sudden I'm going,
Yeah, you were completely opposite of how you were this morning this week.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you were gonna die.
yeah, no, like seriously, I'm actually feeling pretty good. So
Let's
let's keep
have a
doing
conversation
that.
then.
Okay, let's,
Not gonna like, that's what I'm saying.
It's getting replicated all over the place.
Right. So when this is my cloud workspace, which is.
It's just we both that are innovators, that's the whole thing. In our worldview, everybody's an innovator, so that's the worldview.
Which
we
is
take.
here, right? It's
And
this
that's
computer?
So our job is to inspire
That's the
innovation,
gateway to
and then
the
also, innovation is the realized value of an idea, it's always about money.
Yeah, so we
it's
wanna
not
get to,
translating an idea to
machine
something
learning.
profitable.
We're running into a
So the, so that's
virtual
what they were
server
doing, but I was thinking, I
Right.
really, my advisors the past 5 months
That's
have
actually
said
not a
that
virtual, it's a real server. Right.
productize, not just in a
It just is
book room.
an environment
The most
created
exciting
somewhere
thing
in a
that,
park garage somewhere in a farm.
the thing that they've gotten the most excited about
And
is
then
this
once I
idea
get
of
in, I've
something
got
like
all
this
the-
that gets shipped, but I don't wanna
the
be
desktop
responsible for
operating
posting
system.
these things
Right.
and keeping
So
these
there-
things.
You guys basically provide this environment too, right?
We can't, we haven't got to that point yet.
You're providing the office.
Office suite and, actually learned that Microsoft position
Right.
was so nice.
Oh, yeah.
so visual in your
Licensing.
words.
Well,
And then
so I wanna-
Right, we just pay basically
I want,
per
my,
seat.
one of my clients
Correct.
said, in
You
the
know,
$1 million teams training that
they
we
host
did, he said,
everything.
to me
Yeah.
at the end of it, he said, I want my team members to be able
Like,
to
this
own
is
the
the
event,
service
so
you
if
go
they need
to.
to, like,
Right.
they don't have to be the key facilitator, but if they need to, they can, which is a skill that's translatable, it takes time, but it's translatable. And he said, cause the person with the marker
And that's
wins.
And then
I
all of mine-
loved that,
all
and
of
so I
mine,
thought, yeah, if I had a marker that was given in the
IT
kit
is
and
managed
it's
through
in
that.
mine,
Nice.
but it has the double
Yeah, they take care
entendre,
of
so it's like
everything.
double meaning, so it's not just mine, like this is mine, but it's also mine as in what's mine. Mine, the idea or whatever that thing is. So then I was thinking, what if there was a monthly kit that was delivered that had one tool, feature of
Right.
books,
Title.
thousands of books on innovation, featured book,
We use-
had the tool,
we use
how to
Omar.
facilitate the tool,
I
had
don't know what that is,
the,
but
all the
it's a
things, that,
CRM.
you know, like the roads
Okay.
report that you
And
need,
every single one of our
rolled up or
clients,
folded
all
up,
of our
did you have
emails
nice
is
vinyl that could be
here,
used,
so when
you know,
we
something
open
like
up,
that that could be produced
you know,
and then shipped.
Right, email me, this is that contact, and then when I go to that contact,
B2B,
every single email would be
workbox for
every single email, every
facilitation.
single interaction.
That would be awesome.
We have no
I thought
gifts.
I don't wanna be the producer of the
We have
lot.
no, you can't do a kid, do some fun, you know, like maybe do a social or something, that would be a gift.
That has got.
You know, but other than that.
Put that down for my, product for prospect.
All
Yep.
based on the.
We're gonna do like a first Friday thing for downtown. To just have, you know, people drinks a little bit of food.
And then I said, because the thing is that although you guys.
Right post, have some, I guess the book could be a gift or a product for prospect, what you're saying.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually one thing.
It's a huge investment though, if you think about it. The book can be free, but if you wanna go out over 100 guys, there's still a cost on it. So it still can be costly.
From Bindle and Keith, and they have it's a tailored box.
Because there is a used as a gift. You can't, we almost, I know, I came to the CEO social, that's when they gave it to me.
Just a sticker on it that says Bindle and Keith. But I thought, this is such a perfect box. I'm gonna use this box in my closet.
It's funny, 'cause if you saw our presentation, we have sales funnels in
All my
there.
travel.
We look at them
So
differently.
I wrote
Right.
the travel bits on
But I
it.
like this model,
And I thought,
yeah.
that's
Cool.
what I want people to
Because
see.
it's kind of linked to sales and
Yes.
marketing, rather than just having one.
Right.
Yeah. I know, but I think people would keep the, I don't wanna make it huge, because it's just gonna be a box. But I want them to say, wow, this would be my ideal box, like I use that product, if they want to. I'm the most analog, like, whatever.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's weird when
But
we
the
roll out
idea
this
of
whole
dealing
KPI
with
stuff,
package things
not.
and have, even started off with limited quantity of training.
I'm serious, sales guys go out and do what they do.
That's what I think that rock is
Yeah.
automated.
And I'm like, oh,
So then
right,
You're the show.
afterwards that.
I'm the guy who, when it's
I would
said,
choose whatever.
problems with me for tech.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure you show.
Yeah.
That's what I do. So, when I come in here, it's very important, because you've done it, you've done it, as well, because understanding when you need to, in your business, go get somebody else to do something.
Right.
It's not what you do, it's a huge deal, right? Like, working with the huge investment, but how long would it take you?
So I'm like, this is just so perfect. It's
Us.
like,
That was not.
And at what cost?
The dream team, we did a thing on the dream team, so if you want to build out your own marketing department, reach out to the resources we give you, it's about $500,000.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just, and you get all that without having to, you know, pay.
Well, that's what I tell people all the time, right? Because manpower is, we come from the staffing industry. So all the time, we'll be like, well, I'll just hire you. What are you gonna pay? Because you know, that's not just what you're paying for, right? On average, the cost of an employee is anywhere between 43 and 48% downright what you pay. So $100,000 a year guy costs you $150,000.
Right. No, that's a great point.
You know what I mean? That guy's not gonna be able to do it.
And that's the thing.
Well, that's it.
And if he is, I mean,
Right.
he's not gonna be able to do 50.
Right.
I mean, that guy's 250,
Right.
300. So.
Exactly.
And also depending on just bandwidth, right? Let's say you get the guy
It
for
was like
250.
those, yeah, it was like those things on Facebook
Right.
that people love.
Well, and that's the situation you want, right? So they pay this guy $66, and they give him a title, and the title's great, you know, you put on LinkedIn and say you're this guy, but he's such a homebody that it doesn't matter what his title is, because he's never gonna go anywhere. So when somebody reaches out to him like this, hey, you're the CEO, would you like to have, you know, like, because you're sitting in an office with, you know,
Right.
and then she gets the thing.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay. Usually they get like ransomware. Dude. There's no way you can have that thing completely locked up.
No, it's just not.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you're in the staffing
Right.
business, okay, you have a lot of proprietary information for those of you who work for your organization.
Yeah.
Social security numbers and IDs and all these things are flowing in and out of building.
Right.
You know, not even including financial,
Yeah.
right, from a pay perspective.
Oh, great.
You know, I mean, that was the thing with my last organization. They used to do payroll internal. Why don't you do payroll internal?
Dude, it's so expensive.
What? Are you out of your mind? They're like, well, ADP is expensive. I'm like, have you ever even done cost analysis? Call ADP now.
Yeah, you can negotiate with it. Yeah.
You don't listen, and it's an a la carte service.
Right.
So if you don't want to give ADP everything, don't let it just cutting of the check.
No, dude.
You know, you send them a spreadsheet, everybody's out. Let them do it.
Yeah. God, we use A1HR for that, and the cost of it is just.
No, well, that's what we're doing. You know, that's what we're doing again because we're growing, and you know we have these people in the field. So you know, it's like, well, you're 15, you're 15. An additional 300 people out on the field that you expect to lose there,
Right.
you know, and then depending on what's going on, you know, what those. I mean, right now I have my database of resources that I physically don't touch, don't done abilities that we have right now in the U.S. to IT schools over 2,000. Just in the U.S.
Wow.
Just here. So, and that's what comes me now. I need you in the UK.
Really?
It's like I need a diagnosis.
So are you gonna like try to outsource that guy?
Yeah. Well, I have a company right now that has the ability to help me there. I'm working on the numbers with those who speak. I actually have a call tomorrow, Saturday morning, to get that done. But we made
That would allow you to continue to go to door, actually would, and then those three tools, very, very big. Just think about it technology wise, we can
Desktop
find their
migration
physical space, shine out.
Jesus.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on.
It's elegant, it looks raw.
Over there, and I did a bid because I did a lot of government work before I came here. And that's the other thing too. We don't play on the SDVO as big enough. You know, people say it's on this stuff.
Right.
Especially with bigger organizations, because it's check the box.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Organizations, you need to get them X amount of business.
Yeah.
You have 3 of those.
What do they call it?
Yeah, the word always
Yeah,
diversity.
yeah.
Diversity.
No, it's like they're like a certain like offset or something. They have to give
Yeah, it's part of their, but they call it their, every company calls it their diversity program.
Oh.
Okay, so but we have 3 boxes.
Happy New Year.
2 services. Still official. So you do a bid, it's like ding 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 ding. You know what I mean? So. But I did a bid, and government's really rough because you bid on something, they awarded to you, and some of the companies not happy that you got protest, they have something benched, right? You know, the protest, so the protest is coming to an end. But I landed at $3 million deal with the Defense and Information
It
Services.
literally took
Just doing Cisco, just installing.
We couldn't get a hold of them, we didn't know if they were coming.
And the great thing about that, and why I ended up getting it, is because I got the U.S. locked up, which they call CONUS, which is Continental United States. But they also had an OCONUS piece in order to be outside of the country. We had offices, had everybody who bid on it. We were the only small company that had offices overseas. Like, why would we not get here?
One of the things that I.
Dude, that's huge.
Yep.
And then, do you use
So-
the same shipper, right?
What?
We use Alice Patch,
An actual symphonic behind it.
Talent shippers, the one helps us because they speak the language and they, and they ship everything to us.
Yeah, so it's fascinating, so it takes some technique, but that is like, oh wow.
All right, guys, let's get started.
Anyway,
No, not yet.
you can't do that.
We have no gifts.
Nope.
That's gonna
You got a blog. You got a blog.
Well, yeah, I have blocked down here, but that's,
It's weak. It's the weakest, easiest one.
well, he's helping us with that, so that's gonna change a little bit. You know, and even on the video, there are.
Oh, by the way, John, so I spoke with Rob.
Yeah.
Thanks for cockblocking me on the blogs.
I didn't.
Appreciate it. No.
So you're shipping that, you're shipping.
It's good. What we're going to do is we've been very regular with his blogs.
Yeah.
We want to just hand the baton off, so you start publishing your blogs on the same time and the same day that we were,
Yeah.
so there's no interruption there, because Google's already seeing that he's just getting it out consistently. And what we're going to do is, because he's still paying for that service, we offer a new service inside the brand ambassador, which is they can pick weekly blogs or a monthly ebook. And so we're going to switch ours over to monthly ebooks
Okay, right on.
the moment you're ready to start those blogs. So we'll keep doing
I think
blogs.
it's huge.
What's that?
The PR outreach
Yeah, it
that
is.
you guys do. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was telling him, I was like, no, you keep
Stay with,
doing
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
no,
doing.
it was fine.
Okay.
But it'll work out real well. So,
Okay, right.
by the way, you'll develop quite a few more free gifts, because these will be free
Right,
ebooks in Amazon.
And he hasn't even, that was the first I've heard about that, so
Yeah.
he and I will have a conversation about that. Why am I hearing shit about our internal operations from a meeting?
Yeah, there you
External
go.
to the organization.
Yeah, bust his chops. So you just communicate with Alejandra and let her know when you plan on taking that over.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is we'll start repurposing a lot of the content and to create specific ebooks, similar to the Profitable CEO.
Right.
That kind of a thing. Yeah. So we'll start creating those.
And then I think it's next week, so we're meeting with their team, and then we do that whole content meeting or whatever. So we just hit them with every question. They leave exhausted. So
Super.
We'll get a ton of topics.
Good.
What day is that, so I know to work from home that day?
I think
All right, guys.
Tuesday.
Let's get started. Okay, Grant, we were up to you. What is we talked about that, but I don't know if you made any decisions. What are you thinking in terms of a product for prospect?
Well, I think that sales training program is probably a good.
I think guys. Do you guys? I mean, do you agree? I don't want to. I just think that's freaking amazing. I can't imagine any financing companies going to these yacht brokers or plane brokers saying, "Here's a free sales training program," or "Here's an affordable sales training program." I do like the idea of an exclusivity deal. Charge for the training, make it a good premium price, $200, $300, $400 a month or something like that, or $50 per employee or something like that. So there's a lot of perceived value, and then ask them, but if you can get an exclusivity deal, the training's free.
Is this something that would be on our website or on a
Yeah, on your
separate
website. No, you'd want it to be on your website,
Okay.
because that further solidifies them to your product and to your brand. Yep.
Is it something that you would want to be public or not?
Not.
Okay, so there would be a way to get into that area?
Correct. Yep. So it'd be a usually, and I would assume you have a
They could give their
WordPress site.
information to get the code.
What's that?
They could give their information to get the key to get into it?
Yep.
Or,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, this is beyond what you would do, by the way. This is not a do-it-yourself project. This is a hire somebody who knows how to do this stuff. But there are a lot of online learning portals that are way better than the shit than one that we have. We created that ourselves. I can't stand it, I gotta tell you. Kajabi is an online learning portal for training programs, which does pretty well. I don't know what Kajabi,
How do you spell that?
Kajabi. You ever use Kajabi?
No, it sounds just like it sounds.
Yeah.
Good job.
Kajabi. Kajabi is, what I love about Kajabi is that it's so idiot proof. Like, I mean, it's just their user interface is brilliant and it's simple and it works. I don't like the fact that you got to pay them a monthly fee for it, and I think it was like $200 a month or something. There's another one on WordPress, which is built into a WordPress site, and that one is called, what's it called? Come on, John, tell me, what is it called?
There's a ton of them.
I think it begins with C. And what I like about that is that you buy it once and you own it for life. and it's only like $300-400.
It's a-
But it's not nearly as user friendly as Kajabi. Kajabi is just idiot proof.
It's a bolt-on to an existing WordPress website.
Yes, yeah. What's a wish list? Yeah, begins with a C or a W, one of the two. Yeah, wish list is a good online learning portal, membership portal type of a thing.
Yeah, it's MemberPress, Membership Pro. Yeah, there's a ton of them for WordPress.
Yeah. But this is something you'd probably want to hire somebody to do. I would start doing some searches for white labeled sales training programs or custom white label or something like that. And you'll find somebody who can do that to get them up and create a pretty cool training program. I think it's a great idea. John, what about you? Product for prospect.
We do a SEO analysis. That's on site.
Is that paid?
We could charge for it. Yeah.
But you currently don't.
No. So.
Start ask yourself why don't you charge for it?
Because it's almost like table stakes. I mean, I'm in such a saturated space with so many lying hacks that it's just, it's just hard enough as it is.
Yep. So here's my thinking on that, and it's so much easier to say it from this side of the table than that side of the table. But if everybody else is giving them away for free, charge, because it sets you aside from all of the rest. And you can even say, listen, if you want a free analysis, go to all these different hacks that are doing that, but all they're doing is just trying to sell you their products or services, and it's usually probably pretty templated.
Yeah.
This is a custom analysis, which is going to really blah, blah, blah. So they charge for it.
Okay.
And then,
Well, I mean, no, ours is templated too. I mean, it's something we put together.
I get that,
Okay.
but they don't know that, and it just gives you a little bit more prestige if you charge for it.
Okay.
And you could even say, listen, it's a $200 assessment, and if you decide to work with us, we'll give you the $200 off of your first month's services. You could do something like that as well, right?
I like that.
You could also say it's a $200 assessment, and then you could even have coupon codes for that as well. And say, listen, but provided you match this criteria,
Right.
what's your revenue, what's your budget, blah blah blah, we'll waive the fee.
I like that. Yeah.
And then there's a perceived. You want to make sure. Here's the problem: people just don't appreciate services, right? They just think it's free. So take away that and just put a price tag, even if you take it off later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I like that one.
Yeah. But don't say valued at $200.
Right.
It's $200. Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta pay.
All
We'll
right.
go through the rest of them, right? Am I good?
Yeah. Go for it.
So of course the book, which is incomplete. We got ebooks. We do one per quarter. I want to try to charge for those. So I'm going to do it anywhere between $1 to $30. I just want to see what happens.
Okay.
1 hour strategy session. That's I like your strategy session and that template. So I mean that's something.
Steal our ideas, guys. We have no problem with you taking those concepts. They work. We didn't originate them.
And then thinking about it, and the others are meetups, 1 per quarter. We're doing a networking meeting, 1 per month on first Fridays at the office. Drink and food.
What was that?
Are those
again?
gifts
What
or
was
those
your-
product for prospects?
Yeah.
It's product for prospects.
It is.
Yeah, we're getting contact information. You can't
Okay.
get in there without giving us your information.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep, that's about it.
All right. All right. Cool. Billy.
Same thing really on the survey side of things. We can charge and not charge depending on the service, because we just talked silos before.
Yep.
So we have, on the networking side, you can't do a survey if you're not collecting information. You just can't.
Yep.
But on the security side, that could either be a gift or it could be something that we charge for, depending on what is going on. And then the complete layout goes along on the security side again with the survey piece, right? Where, listen, keep it, use it for another company, whatever it is, but this is what you need to do in order to keep your facility safe. Rob's book is also a part of that on the security side. Other than that, these are all things that we seriously have to work on in our organization, because like I said earlier, right now we go from knowing
0
where to
to
go
60.
right to sales conversation. There is very little of this.
Well,
leading
let's
up to
talk
that.
about that for a second. So, there's something to be said for if it ain't broke, don't fix it as
Right.
well. You guys are producing higher revenues than you've ever produced, higher profit than you've ever imagined possible.
Right.
You guys are growing like a fucking weed. So, just for the sake of putting stuff in,
Right.
you don't slow it down if it's
No,
working.
You're right, but at the same time, I think the gift and the product for prospects, I think make the organization as a whole more accessible.
Yeah.
Right? I think there's a little bit of a robotic feel to everything that's going on now. I mean, instantly we're getting the business because of the customer service and what we're doing from a support perspective. But there's not I don't want to say there's not a relationship, because we wouldn't have the business if there wasn't. But that relationship is very, just go to these guys because they know they're going to take care of it, and that's where it ends.
Yeah.
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 So I think
If nothing else, these products for prospects and these gifts may just help build more credibility
Right.
and more fluidity to that.
Right.
But we don't want to slow the process down.
Right. So I think even piggybacking off of John here too, I think we're going to have to maybe do some socials in the office. Because again, because of where we do business and how we do business, a lot of people don't come to see us.
Mhm.
So I think there's a value add to do something in the office, to have those people come to your facility, have some drinks, have some food, see
Sure.
what's going on.
Cool.
And do that.
All right.
So.
All right, cool. Anything else?
No.
All right, cool. Claire.
Okay, do you want the gifts or the?
Product for prospects.
Okay. The box is the number one.
That's a gift.
And a gift, right.
Yep.
The things, or we have the videos that we could do to come in.
Those are gifts?
No, but it would be to come in and to see things.
Oh, deeper level ones. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
Then it would be training programs on how to communicate to clients, how to be more professional dealing with clients, doing CLE courses in-house to have them come do the courses.
What's a CLE?
Continued learning education.
Oh, gotcha.
So like
Yep.
all the professionals have to have it.
Hmm. Got it. Great.
So then we would do stuff.
For who? For your
For
designers,
architects
or
and
for
designers.
good architects and designers? Great.
So
Excellent. Yep.
we would do the change of the color trends, legal issues, things like that.
Those are great products for prospect.
Right.
Those are fantastic. You
'Cause-
charge for those?
No, because those would be what you were saying, bringing them into the production facility
Mhm.
and then doing that there.
Yeah.
And nobody charges for seal. You can charge, but I'm only gonna be able to do one or two.
Yeah.
Um,
You're not doing those now. You're thinking about doing those. I
Right,
think.
and then I want to host, I want to get, and to host just more events. And I like the high tea party kit, but I couldn't find it online.
Okay, I'll find it for. I'll look it up.
The CLE thing, another agency I started at, we predominantly focused on like medical stuff. They built pretty much a $15 million agency just off of getting leads through CLEs.
Right.
So they would go into these companies and like it would be for like eyeglasses or like hearing aids or like all this medical stuff. These guys aren't doctors. These are just like agency guys. But they would go in and that's how they'd get in the door and we would just get business. It was crazy.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, if I can find a way to then get it certified with the architectural and the IIDA or whatever I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go in. They don't even ask who you are. It's weird. They have to get these credits, and then you'll just build like these huge.
Well, and that,
contacts.
and then see if I can even say that if they do the video,
Mhm.
so then I can go in and say, well, here's a USB with the video.
Yeah, the rule, I don't know about now, I mean, the healthcare side, they were really weird about marketing to them. Like, we got yelled at one time I was attending, and then, the guy I was with is like, oh, yeah, talking about the agency, and they're like, whoa, what are you doing, pal? And he's like, oh, well, we're getting it. Like, you can't do that. So.
No, you don't, which
Yeah.
is why it would be, like, I would need to bring them to our place. to
Right,
do
right.
that, or do a luncheon and say, hey, we're gonna do a color trend, or I'm gonna talk to you, this is who we are, but we're gonna talk to you about, how do you set up a business, or,
And
how
just
do
the
you.
business card too. You guys got questions? Here's my business card. And then everybody sees it, that small
Right.
little piece. I mean, yeah. It can be huge.
Good. I like them. So the one thing about the CLEs, do you have to file for the appropriate paperwork for those?
Yeah.
All right. So that's the first step, obviously, is to find
Right,
out what
I
that's
have to come
Gotcha.
up with a course and then or just have people who are
But I think
interested.
you doing CLEs inside your facility is a brilliant idea.
Right.
Yeah. I also think maybe even doing it in the gallery would be kind of cool too, depending upon what the CLE is.
Right.
Designers may be more for the gallery, architects may be more for the big.
I want them in the big one.
The big one's impressive as
and
hell.
And then what I would do there is then I would give them a gift certificate to go to the restaurant, and then when I would tell them to go to the restaurant, please
Gotcha.
go upstairs and see our gallery.
Gotcha. All right, that works. Yeah, perfect. I like that. It's good. That's a smooth transition. Luda.
Well, currently we have, as
product for prospect is catalogs, because when you, it's gift to some designers and it's catalog to other people who are interested, because they have to give us information,
Okay.
way to send it. Just like you mentioned, product that is in a certain quantity, probably can be our product for prospect. What we can add is same thing, like if I create certain course where they have to get their credits.
Oh,
we
you
work
can do
with
that too?
them- Yes, like, yeah, it's the same thing. They work with designers and architects, and they always need the continuous education on
Sweet.
lighting trends and everything. So,
Okay.
but that will help me to get through their doors, saying you can get credit if you see me,
Yep.
or organize some kind of courses. But my client is not just the architect and design, but it's also my sales agents who go and promote the product, so I can
Uh-huh.
create some training, like maybe training videos or training materials that will help them
Okay.
to go and get it. Like right now, I'm giving out samples for free.
Okay.
But I'm thinking if I can create maybe like a sample kit that comes with a like PowerPoint presentation and training webinar,
Uh-huh.
and maybe charge them even in the shipping fee that it costs me to send it to their location, because I sell national, so
Uh-huh.
I ship all of those samples all the time, and that's one of my biggest costs right now is shipping the something that is not being bought. It's like samples and catalogs and everything, so it might be another way of saying, hey, this is the kit of samples that you can sell my product, and it comes with a PowerPoint presentation and a 1 hour
So the
webinar.
PowerPoint is for them
Yes,
to be able to
so
use.
so they
Great.
can take that, and all they have to do is just come into the interior design and turn it on and pull out the sample and say, here, look
I
at
love
application pictures, here are the samples to touch and feel.
I love that.
And they say, yeah, I like it, and they say, if I can just charge them $50 for the shipping fees,
Yep,
they'll
yep.
already offset my cost. So.
Yeah. The cool thing about physical products, by the way, is it is the ultimate legitimate reason to get a real address, not a fake one,
Yeah.
right? Because if they really want it, they're going to give you their real address, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good. I like that. All right, cool. So you'll communicate with Grant, by the way, as well, correct? On the follow-up with your friend who has
Yeah,
the...
yes.
All right, good, good. All right, cool. All right, now we move on to the gifts. So here's what I want you to focus on right now. If you think about, pick one of those products for prospects. I get that maybe it's not built yet. That's okay. Or maybe it is, like with the Dealer Congress. Ask yourself, what would be the best way to reach? That's right. Is this from yesterday? Yeah, cool. Remember we said, what does my client need to know or feel and that kind of stuff in order to buy this? And then that was the product for prospect. Same thing. So now you take that product for prospect, ask yourself those same questions. What does my client need to know about this in order for them to want it, right? So now we're going to reverse engineer the gifts around that. And I want to start with some really basic, simple ones. Because gifts shouldn't take a great deal of time to create. They should be done fairly simply and fairly easily. My goal for you is to walk away here today with a couple of gifts. So we call these the 7 stupid mistakes gifts. The number 7 is arbitrary. It could be 10, 12, 3, number 1, I don't care. And there's 2 types of mistakes, by the way. There's what we call thinking mistakes and action mistakes. So let me, I just screwed up my slides here. So let me show you how we've developed ours here. And we talked about this yesterday, right? How people brag about things that they think are cool, but based upon what you know, you're being an idiot. That's not the way it should be, right? So, for example, we hear people talk about how there aren't enough hours in the day and I have to do everything myself because I can't afford to hire. Oh, sorry, you don't have any slides here. There we go. So they say there aren't enough hours in the day. I have to do everything myself because I can't afford to hire staff. This is what being a business owner is all about. We sit there on the other side thinking, what a genius, idiot, right? Yeah. So there are some thinking mistakes that they have there. We want to get rid of those, or we want to identify what those are. So here are some thinking mistakes that people in entrepreneurship make on it. So we've isolated what these things are. So Number one, being good at what I do is enough, and I don't need to worry about how I pitch. Number two, my years in the business is all the credibility I need. Number three, no one in my company can do what I could do as good as I do it. We hear these things all the time from business owners. If I brand myself, people will see me as a shameless self-promoter or an egomaniac. My ability to grow is restricted by my current resources. If I had more money, in other words, translation, if I had more money, I could grow faster. I can do it all on my own. I don't need anybody's help. I don't like media and technology. My business doesn't need it. These are 7 silly thoughts that entrepreneurs have, right? I'm going to guess there are some thinking mistakes that your prospects have. I mean, they just think this is how it is, but that's a mistake. Does that make sense? So Don, Billy, for example, your customers probably think that their IT firm is sufficient to handle their security needs.
Sure.
They probably think that if they bring in an outside service provider,
We're not
then they're
gonna
going to be paying
understand.
twice.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
These are the thinking
Oh,
mistakes,
sure.
right?
Oh, dude, yeah.
John, you got this. You got this down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't need any help. Grant, brokers, yacht brokers might think all financing companies are the same. They also might think, well, if I give a loan to another financing company, I'm going to piss off the relationship with my other financing company. Right? These are thinking mistakes. Patty, doesn't really.
I got it.
You got it, right?
I got this
yeah,
one.
got this
yeah,
one.
this one I'm good on.
Yeah,
Not
good.
everything this one, yeah.
Cool. Lewis. School systems think, what are some thinking mistakes that they might have? Well, probably similar to Don Billy's as well, I would imagine, because it's relatively similar. But maybe there's something in the realm of education there, right? Like, well, our school board won't approve things anyway, so why ask? Or something. Or we have no money, so we can't afford to do things, right? Yeah. Michelle, what are some thinking mistakes? People who, now once again, these are not your partners, these are people who you want to be your partners. So what are some thinking mistakes they have? Number one, I don't need to have partnership, I can do it all on my own.
That was exactly what I was going to say.
Yep. Number two, if I partner with some other company, I'm going to lose my own identity. I don't know, I'm just guessing, I'm spitballing.
Or I need to have more choices for my customer.
Of course, yeah, there we go. Yep. Michelle, we've hired companies in the past that doesn't make a difference anyway. I don't know, what else?
So with the $1 million teams,
Yeah.
there's a couple things. Telling people to open their mind is the best way to get them to open their mind. That's a mistake
Oh, interesting.
in a group session. If I
Oh,
want
try to
them-
be open-minded.
Right. This is all about being open-minded. Holy shit. First way to get people to shut up.
Interesting.
If I want new ideas, I need to host a brainstorming session with my team.
Oh, okay, you've got this.
Yeah,
You're
to get
nailing
new
it.
ideas, I need to get the most important people in the room, like, the executive suite,
Gotcha.
et cetera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are good on this. Luda. Yours might be light fixtures or light fixtures, it just doesn't matter. Or maybe the thinking mistake is my customers don't care about quality, they just care about price. You get the idea? Yep.
And sync would be the quality.
Okay, cool. So I want you to create a list of things that people think which are asinine. Your prospects, things that they think that are just ridiculous.
Is that thing later? It's not walkable from here, right? I gotta drive over there in the car.
Yeah, you could walk it. I mean, I walk to Ybor all the time, but this is
Yeah.
a little walk. But,
Right. I work
yeah.
I work in Manhattan, so I have no problem hoofing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a couple miles.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend walking on that.
What's that?
I wouldn't recommend walking.
This time of day, it's nice, it's cool. So we good.
You still have to, they still have those like projects right there that you have to walk through?
Dude, I parked
You're
near the
snooty?
bus depot yesterday, okay? The whole walk back, I
Look at you with your little fancy watch and your jacket. Think you're too good for those project people.
I know you're gonna be the mayor, but there was these police officers. I mean, granted, this was like 10 years ago. He's like, dude, if you go down there, we were walking. He's like, we're not going to help you if they call. You know, I was like, okay. And we,
Yeah.
you know, turned around the other way.
Here's the little shady area you walk through.
Yeah.
That's always what you want to hear from a law enforcement officer.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah.
Oh, you're going that
You're
way?
not going in
Good
there.
luck,
I'm not
buddy.
going in there.
We'll be over here.
You know, when the serial killer was around, no Uber would pick anybody up in the
Seminole
Heights.
Heights.
Seminole
Yeah.
Heights. Yeah.
Couldn't go in there.
Poor people in Seminole Heights couldn't get Uber or Lyft to pick them up. And nobody was going there.
If I was a driver, though, I can't blame those people,
Yeah.
man.
No, they see they go, nope, delete, delete,
Exactly.
delete.
Yeah.
Are we gonna share these? Cause I'm curious.
Yeah.
You want to share yours? What do you got?
I've got 26.
Wow.
Oh, okay, you know,
Now-
like, yeah, you're the ferocious, right? You
So what you'll
know.
do,
26 mistakes.
it'll take forever. We go through all of them, obviously. But what I want you to
I just
do,
started writing on the 7. I thought
what's that?
you just wanted us to write on the 7, so I did 7. and then-
Well, you may have actually gone one step ahead. So I
Okay.
just
She
wanted you.
did.
I just wanted
She
you to write out the
described each
sentences.
one.
That's fine. Now what I want you to do is I want you to write why that's a mistake. Right? So why
You suck.
you done? Yeah. So for you, if you got 26, that's probably too long of a document anyway. But it's good. It's good information for your book.
It's actually the beginning of 3.
What's
or
that?
4 documents.
Yeah, and that's it. You'd split those things up, right? So I would probably try to categorize them, but
I'm
pick the.
actually gonna start my presentation at Dealer Congress like
Uh-huh.
this, cause it's like bad news, good news.
Yeah, you can do that.
Maybe.
Have some
I
fun
don't
with
know.
it. But go ahead now. Just maybe a paragraph.
Because these guys don't
Yeah.
think. It's like, I just want to shake them sometimes. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I don't do night demos because I've been doing this for too long, but lighting's sold at night.
Yeah.
You show somebody a dark space and then you light it up. It's like, boom, you collect the check. Oh, I never ask customers for the check on the first day.
Whoa.
What? Okay, you'd rather take them through like 3-4 cycles? It's
Send
like,
them to the Don Billy School of Sales.
you know, no.
It's the Don Billy School
Hammer and
sales.
a shotgun.
He's just like, screw the gifts and the product
Yeah,
and prospect. We
exactly,
just
man.
go right into
We
the
just go
core.
right in there.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and take a few moments to write these out because you're actually creating the products as you are doing this right now.
So
go
wait,
ahead.
what do you want now?
I want you to write a brief paragraph on each one of these things. As why is that a mistake? So explain your reasoning. So you just told me the worst way to get somebody to open their mind is to open their mind, Michelle. Explain yourself. That just seems crazy. I want to know why, right? So now you
Right.
write out a paragraph.
Well, I was telling these guys a story before, just real quick, when you have a customer that maybe thinks they know more than they should on the security side. So this was a law firm, it's local,
Yeah.
all right, and several months ago, he had one camera, and a commuter bus crashed into the side of his building. Now, he's a personal injury law firm,
Yeah.
but he had no video or really how to determine what had happened, and the bus hit his building. So he's like, really? Now I need you guys to come in here. So we're like, all right, we could do this, but you really should do this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I know what I want.
Right.
This is just what I want. 3 nights ago,
Yeah.
someone pulled into his parking lot and stole his boat trailer right out of his parking lot. And he goes,
there's
I
no
need you to
footage.
pull the video. I'm like, well, we have video, but because we didn't put a camera over there where we told you to put a camera,
Yeah.
we can't really help you. We only know the color of the vehicle, and that's pretty much it. We've got no license plate,
Right.
nothing. You know, if we had put one exactly where we told them to,
Yeah.
I mean,
Customers love hearing that, I bet.
yeah, well, that's the thing. We didn't even tell them,
Yeah.
told you so. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go down
Can't
that
go,
path,
yeah.
but, I mean, that's just on the security side. Get the IT stuff.
Well, by the way, that's a great story to put in. And also, by the way, if you can explain it through stories and anecdotes, that's even better. Yep. So if you can put an anecdote with that, it makes it much more powerful. I'll even give you some examples of this in a second.
So we're kind of running rebuttals to these.
Yeah.
butchered that word.
Yep.
Since this is just for us, can we be a little sarcastic?
What?
Since this is just for us, can we be a little sarcastic?
But it's not for you. This is your product
I
that
know,
you're
but I
creating.
mean, like,
Be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
Okay.
Sure. It's got to
Just
be
be yourself.
entertaining. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but this is you're creating this, and this will be published. So yeah, it is for people.
It will be
to read.
edited. Be yourself. Be
Okay.
whatever you need to be today.
Okay.
Yes.
Michelle's a troublemaker.
Was that?
Michelle's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
The other free gift that Red Bull gives you is that it goes right through you. So that is a free gift that Red Bull gives you as a fan of Red Bull.
So I found that manners coach. She's actually created an entirely new company now based around that product for prospect. It's called the English Cream Tea Company. Because it was so successful. This is her website. There's a testimony. She's got tons of videos as well.
Her name's Cindy?
What's that?
Is her name Cindy?
Jane Mallion.
Yeah, she has on LinkedIn.
Yeah, this is her. There's the book, Play Nicely. Here's a picture of the Guinness Book of World Records cream tea party that she had
Oh, wow.
with the certificate. Yeah. Which, by the way, just for the record, Guinness Book of World Records, total rip-off scam company. We got inspired by this. We got inspired by this, and we did a Guinness Book of World Records with KPI. In the UK, we did the world's largest speed networking event. What they don't really clearly tell you, though, is that once you have that, you're not allowed to tell people that you're not allowed to tell people you're a Guinness World Record holder. And if you do, they fine you like $20,000 or something like that. Yeah, it's like this total scam to where they protect their IP so hard that they just kill you. Like every time you want to use it, it's a $2,000 fee on the websites and all this stuff, and it's just not worth it. Like we don't even talk about it anymore. But we broke the world record. We're just it's not worth it.
Huh.
Yeah. Good publicity when it happens, but the repurposing value is really hard.
So how does she do it put it on her website then?
She paid. Yeah,
She thought it was worth it.
she thought, and it was for her.
Right.
Definitely, put her on the map.
Huh.
Got 10 more minutes, and we're gonna go to lunch. You guys are staying really focused. It's good.
I paraphrased most of this because I actually have like a folder full of all the objections. You know what I mean? Like we've been using it for a long time.
Yeah, that's product creation
Yeah.
gold right there.
Yep.
And you just start writing articles on all of those things, and then you
Right.
overcome the objections before they even get into the room.
Yeah, I don't even think about that most of the time. Is that I have so much.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my 20th year doing this. I can't believe I did anything for 20 years. I'm gonna punch Sean in the neck. He knows I'm here. I'm like, it'll be in the handbook. Leave me alone. those things we just talked about, right? So we use ConnectWise. It's a system that takes tickets, you know, tracks who's where, you know, checking in, checking out. I need to get something for a customer because they want to see how they can use it for something, and we don't have any collateral whatsoever to send to the customer. Says this is how it will work. I have nothing. I'm like Stacy, how do we not have anything? You don't have any way I can send to the customer right now that says, all right, well, you put this in, and this is how we. She's like, no.
Wow. Well, there you go. You've got an idea of a product to create.
Holy shit. Now my head hurts. You doing our slide decks too? Yeah. Definitely. At least it's not my brain coming out of my ear. With that being said, we may have to talk about that.
Yeah, so we got that, and then the other thing was, yeah, so it's not from the collateral, so we're gonna be doing a bunch of that MSP collateral, so.
Yeah, well, even on the MSP side, the system we use in order to track all that stuff needs to be in the collateral. The customer want to see if you're showing us like that, how you're tracking alcohol.
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna build out the template, and you guys wanna get in there and like add all this stuff, like I need to enhance it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that, but then there's also other collateral, like, sales slips, or I think it's like 6 or 7 of them. So like your fact sheet, you know, your MSP line of business, whether you want to do like network security.
I gotcha.
So we're gonna also have all those in a folder, so you go to a meeting or whatever, it's all that information's right there. Can you send me the information? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you came back. We are, well, we're gonna be done in
You wanna wait for the break?
10 minutes, but what we've done is made a list of all of the stupid things people think related to our business that we know is stupid, but they don't know are stupid. So, for example, people think diets are a waste of time. People think it's nothing because of good anyway. People think I'm just big boned. People think, right? So there's belief systems, the ways people think. We try to identify a list of what we call the 7 stupid thinking mistakes that people make. So they've identified those, and now they're writing paragraphs about why they're stupid. So that's what we're doing, and it's going to be converted into a gift. guys, it's 12 o'clock. Close enough anyway, 11:56.
Does anyone want to read mine with shitty typing,
I'm actually hoping you guys will post all of it into the forum so we can give you some feedback on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great way for you to get critiquing and some feedback and whatnot and see how if it's rubbing people the wrong way or if it's landing the right way and whatnot. All right, let's go to lunch. I'll be back here at 1 o'clock and we will continue creating more product for prospect and talk about a product that every single person has to have in this room in the next couple of months.
Did you see that?
No, huh? Downtown Tampa.
Yeah, just came out. He just tweeted that like 19 seconds ago. It just came out.
Really?
What did he say?
Well, what's it gonna be?
Top chef guy opening up.
Does he have a location?
Which guy?
Fabio Viviani.